So my stats for him, Dan's used up whatever I was going to say in my introduction. Probably best if I just go through the team news, because it's wet and it's windy. The breeze is blowing south to north here at the innocent new lawn as the teams assemble in front of us for the 1,200 fans for their first time inside this ground since last March. Forest Green, 2-0 down from the first leg, have made 4 changes to their starting lineup from that defeat. Out from the starting lineup go Stokes, Richardson, Wagstaff and Bailey. Replacing them, Sweeney, Jamil Matt, the former Newport striker, Adams and Cadden. Adams back from suspension. And it looks like a 4-4-2 for Forest Green. Luke McGee, their keeper. Don Bernard, Udoka Gobin Malife, Dan Sweeney and Bailey Cargill in a back 4. Kane Wilson, Ibu Adams, Jordan Moore Taylor and Nicky Cadden as their 4 in midfield. And Jamil Matt is partnered by Aaron Collins up front. Aaron Collins, of course, the older brother of the two. His younger brother, Lewis Collins, leads the line for Newport County. And of course, there was a doubt as to whether Lewis Collins was going to make it today after injuring himself in the celebrations of his goal that made it 2-0 on Tuesday night. But he's fit and plays in an unchanged Newport County lineup. Tom King is their keeper. Liam Shepherd, Scott Bennett and Mickey Demetriou are their back 3. Aaron Lewis, Anthony Hartigan, Josh Shee and Matt Dolan and Ryan Haynes is 5 across midfield. Padraig Armand supports Lewis Collins up front. On the bench for Forest Green, Lewis Thomas is their sub-keeper, along with Taylor Allen, Odin Bailey, Jake Young, Scott Wagstaff, Josh Davison and Jaden Richardson. Newport County's bench, Josh Labadie back from a knee injury to take his place amongst the substitutes. Luke Gampin drops out of the squad. Priestley Farquharson, Nicky Maynard, Kevin Ellison, Ryan Taylor, Nick Townsend and Joe Ledley make up the rest of the bench. Both teams are breaking into a huddle. Forest Green in their traditional home strip of the lurid green fluorescent shirts with black trim. Newport County in the amber and black shirts with black shorts and amber and black socks. And in this first half, Newport County are going to have the wind at their backs. Myself and Michael Kitely sat at the back of the west stand here at the new lawn, quite low down, only about 20 yards back from pitch level. And Newport are kicking towards the north stand away to our right, the north terrace, and they're going to have the wind behind them. Forest Green will be kicking against the wind towards the Easy Group south stand away to our left-hand side. 1,200 fans return to this eco-friendly stadium in Gloucestershire in hope that Rovers can pull off an unlikely comeback. But Newport, of course, losing finalists in this league 2 years ago, know what it takes to negotiate these 2-leg semi-final ties. Penalties against Mansfield in 2019, and we're underway here at the new lawn, and Forest Green immediately send the ball downfield through Don Bernard, but that's well intercepted by Aaron Lewis, who had an excellent game on the right-hand side for Newport in the first leg. Aaron Collins gives chase down the right-hand side of the box, but the ball is actually put behind. Looked for a moment like it was going to be put behind for a corner by Scott Bennett, but our referee, Martin Coy, gives a goal kick instead to Forest Green, and it's a good evening to Michael Kitely. Looks like a 4-4-2 as we wanted for Forest Green, or is it?
I don't know, to be honest. I think it's a 4-3-3 with Collins on the left. Just looking here now, yeah, I think it's definitely a 4-3-3.
Yeah, Ibu Adams playing a bit further forward, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing on the right-hand side. Well, they've started well, Forest Green.
He's on the front foot, Ibu Adams, and he's just won the ball to find Kane Wilson. Gives it back to Adams down the right-hand side for Forest Green. Misses out Dan Sweeney and goes back to Udoka Gobin Malife on the halfway line. Don Bernard gives it back to the imposing Dan Sweeney, who came on and looked strong and full of vigour in that second half at Rodney Parade. Now it's on halfway with Don Bernard. The rain really is lashing down here in Gloucestershire. Picture perfect setting, the rolling Cotswold Hills away to our right-hand side in this eco-friendly stadium, run of course by Dale Vince, who took over just over a decade ago as a major shareholder and then became chairman. And Forest Green, who've been through the playoffs successfully in the National League, yet to win a EFL playoff tie. They've got to get their noses in front quickly, you sense here, Michael Crichton.
Yeah, they have, but the first sort of 5-10 minutes is key, especially for Newport, you know, with the 2-0 lead, is to make sure that they don't make any mistakes and they just work their way into the game. They're going to know that Forest Green are going to take the game to them.
2 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. Forest Green 0, Newport 0. Newport first chance to get the ball inside the Forest Green half, and Josh Sheehan, their captain, steps away from Adams, actually gives the ball away, and there's Jamil Matt running at the back line. Options right and left, goes right to Dan Sweeney, just at the edge of the area, but the ball trickles off the top of his boot, and Ryan Haynes can get it clear for Newport, and he finds Lewis Collins. Amon trying to stay onside, knew he wasn't, and so Forest Green won it back. But a good break there for Forest Green, Michael Crichton.
It was, yeah. Sheehan just a little bit too long on the ball there and got caught on it, and it was a good opportunity for Forest Green there. Just felt the ball from Matt wasn't very good, and Newport got back in their numbers, which was good from them. But a nice bright start from Forest Green. They were on the front foot.
They've had most of the possession in this opening couple of minutes, and Sweeney again has the ball at his feet for Rovers, plays it left for Bailey Cargill, diagonal ball looking for Jamil Matt, but he loses out to Mickey Dimitriou with that 50-50 header. And once again the green and black shirts win it back, and it's Matt again looking to lob it out to Kane Wilson on the right hand side, but Ryan Haynes volleys it downfield for Newport. Gobin Malife back to retrieve it and kicks the ball back into that really strong gusty wind in their faces. Does mean that Forest Green will have the wind at their backs in the second half, of course, Michael. Maybe that was their choice.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see whose choice that was, because I think it will play a key part, especially in the second half when you start getting a bit tired. It's blustering winds out there.
Good atmosphere here inside the new lawn, as Forest Green Rovers have a throw-in to defend here. Newport's throw down their left-hand side, the far side of the field from us, as they're attacking the north stand, the Exiles, in this first period. Matt Dolan, who scored that sweet strike to set Newport on their way, tries to head it towards the edge of the area, but the other number 8 out there, Ibu Adams, back from suspension, volleys it downfield but out of play. So throw into Newport. 4 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. It's been a busy old day of live football across the TalkSport network. You heard Morecambe advance to the League 2 semi-final earlier by negotiating a 1-1 draw at the Mazuma Stadium with Tranmere. So these two teams know who their potential opponent is at Wembley Stadium a week tomorrow, live on TalkSport 2. Forest Green have themselves a goal kick. Luke McGee, resplendent in hot pink for his goalkeeping getter, will take the goal kick, but as usual these days there's 2 defenders standing in the penalty area with him in case they want a short pass, but he's beckoned them away, and McGee will kick long downfield, and we'll have a look and see just how much this holds up in the strong wind. Actually not too bad, it's made good distance over the halfway line. Sweeney helps it on for Forest Green and picks up the second ball, just drifts away from Hartigan for a moment. Good ball in field for Aaron Collins, turns toward the edge of the area, goes down under pressure from Sheehan, and Forest Green have a free kick in position A, 20 yards out, just to the left of centre outside the box.
Great bit of feet from Collins, gets a yard and you think he's going to get a shot off, and gets clipped right as he tries to do so, and as you said, it's a really dangerous area. But it's just that presence, isn't it, from Sweeney and the team. Long kick from the keeper down to Sweeney, gets hold of it, plays it into Collins, and he works his magic, and really good area now.
Well, Aaron Collins and Nicky Cadden are standing over this free kick for Forest Green. It's to the left of centre, about 25 yards out. Aaron Collins is deliberately pacing back. There's a draft excluder behind the 5-man Newport wall in case Collins wants to go under rather than over. Tom King waits on his line. 6 minutes gone, free kick to Forest Green. It's actually Cadden to strike it, hits the wall, comes out to Collins, and he drives it against Haynes and goes behind for a corner kick to Forest Green, 0-0.
Yeah, a bit of a poor free kick, wasn't it, to be honest, to hitting the wall. I fancied Collins, it was more suitable for a right footer, but went with a left footer in Cadden. But we've got a corner now, and as I said, Sweeney's a big presence for him, and will be from set pieces.
Stood at the edge of the penalty area, Dan Sweeney, as Nicky Cadden raises both arms before he takes this left-footed out-swinging corner for Forest Green. Heading forward, it's in! Forest Green lead! And it's Ebou Adams back from suspension with a free header 6 yards out. The comeback is most definitely on in Gloucestershire. Belief all around the new lawn. 7 minutes gone. Forest Green Rovers 1, Newport County 0.
Well, he's just saying about the free kick was poor, but his delivery from the corner, Cadden, great delivery, out-swinger, and what a header from Adams, as you said, back in the team. What a start for Forest Green. And they have been the team on the front foot, and they're back in this tie now.
So the aggregate score back now at 2-1 in Newport's favour. But Ebou Adams with his first goal since a goal at Scunthorpe in April. And now Dan Sweeney piling forward again as Forest Green try and add to Newport's nerves. Bailey Cargill picks it up left-hand side, hits an early ball into the area. It's 2-0! Oh my goodness! Aaron Collins makes it 2-0! They've cancelled out the deficit inside 8 minutes of the new lawn. Cargill's ball in from deep was so special, and Lewis Collins scored in the first leg. It's Aaron Collins who scored, the older brother, in the second leg, and we're now at 2-2 on aggregate with Forest Green 2-0 up here.
Wow, what a start to a game. Sweeney has got this game by the scruff of his neck, got the ball, drove forward, it's popped out to Cargill and puts a great ball in. I thought it was going to be another chance there.
Well, Pedregon almost tried to roll Don Bernard inside the area, but
what a ball in from Cargill. Early ball from the left-hand side and a great finish from Collins. You couldn't write it, could you?
Well, 2-0 a dangerous lead, they say, and sometimes they don't mean it, but goodness me, we're back level on aggregate. It took Sunderland about half an hour or so to get the 2 goals back against Lincoln in that second leg tie that I brought you yesterday on TalkSport 2. Not even at the 10-minute mark. And Jamil Mack trying to get in behind Scott Bennett now. Out comes Tom King. Good goalkeeping from the Newport goalkeeper. But right out, good starting position, and made sure that Matt, who almost got in behind Scott Bennett, couldn't get an effort on goal. 2-0 Forest Green, and it's 2-2 on aggregate. Michael Kitely.
Yeah, Newport just needs to slow this game down a little bit, because he's getting away from them.
Long kick down, their experience. King, and Ammon again is getting chased inside the area. Bernard tidies up, and he's just clipped by Pedregon, who hasn't scored in 12 games now, Ammon, for Newport County. Now we'd love to break that particular duck tonight, particularly in the game situation that Newport find themselves in. Well, they're playing into the wind of Forest Green, but they're not inhibited by that at all.
I think it's actually helped them, to be honest, because they're playing in behind. Matt's going in behind on every occasion that he can, and it's almost their game plan for the ball to hold up a little bit and spin Newport.
Now Lewis Collins with a strong challenge on Bernard, and he's gone down. I don't think there's anything malicious in what Lewis Collins was doing. It was just a bit of a clash between kind of head and shoulder, and it will be a free kick. Bernard's getting back to his feet anyway, so it'll be a free kick to Forest Green. And the referee, Martin Coy, is just having a quiet word with Josh Sheehan, telling him to calm down and not talk himself into a yellow card here.
Yeah, obviously they're going to want to keep 10 men on the pitch, so it's key for him not to get an early booking, especially with these conditions, wet and windy. You see them late tackles go in, and he had a couple of those in the first leg, so he needs to be careful.
10 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. Forest Green 2, Newport 0. 2-2 on aggregate. Here's Jamil Matt inside the area. Actually fouls Josh Sheehan as his first touch saw the ball screw away from him, and in trying to win it back, he fouled the Newport captain, and County have a free kick inside their own box.
Forest Green looks such a threat, don't they, from any sort of dead ball situation. Obviously Matt can hold the ball up well. Sweeney's got some size, good in the air, and they're causing Newport all sorts of problems.
Newport in possession with Scott Bennett. Plays the ball up to halfway where Aaron Lewis flicks it on. Handball by Lewis Collins, says the referee. as he made a challenge with Bailey Cargill. That ball in from Cargill for the second was sensational. It was just tucked home by Aaron Collins. Actually went underneath Tom King. I'm not sure whether the skid of the ball off the surface made it more difficult for Tom King to try and make a save.
Yeah, it definitely helped Collins, didn't it? It just gave it that little bit more pace on it. But what, as you said, what a ball that was. Early ball as well. I don't even think Newport were ready for the cross.
Free kick for McGee for Forest Green, the keeper, sending the ball up to the edge of the area, and Liam Shepherd heads it out of play without too much fuss, but it does present Forest Green with the throw just over the midway point of the Newport half, down the Forest Green left, and the belief is evident all around the innocent new lawn at the moment from the Forest Green faithful. 1,200 here, the perfect start. 12 gone and they're 2-0 up and cancelled out the first leg deficit. Throw in from Cargill is headed away as far as Jordan Moore-Taylor, who gets it again to head it back into the box, but that's a good calm header back from Liam Shepherd to his keeper Tom King, and Newport can reset now, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, and you mentioned there just about the 1,200 fans and what a difference they've made. You know, I'm sure this stadium, this ground would have been full if we would have allowed that, but just to have 1,200 in here, it's really helped Forest Green. The way they've started this game, they've got right behind them and back in the game, as we said.
Armand again giving chase to a ball down the left-hand side for Newport, but Godwin Malife gets there first. His clearance doesn't help him out, but he's allowed to watch the ball drift behind for a goal kick. Sam Parkins said to me on Tuesday during the first leg in our commentary, Michael Kitely, and this is interesting, he would love to see the stats for distance covered by players in these games with fans in, as opposed to the games played behind closed doors, and how different they might be.
Yeah, I think no question that you run a little bit harder. You have that extra couple of percent when there's fans here cheering you on, and you know, it doesn't matter, as I said, if it's 1,200 or 5,000. You know, them just singing your name and getting behind you helps you definitely.
Green Army fans getting behind their team as McGee sends the ball downfield. If you're just tuning into Talk Sport 2, it is true, 13 minutes gone and we're back all square. Newport County were 2-0 up from the first leg, but goals from Adams and Collins, Aaron Collins, have levelled the tie on aggregate. Remember, extra time and penalties if the game is level at 90 minutes, and away goals do not count double in the playoffs. So any level aggregate scoreline at 90 minutes gives us an extra half hour. Here on Talk Sport 2, with Kane Wilson down the right-hand side for Forest Green. Ball down the right-hand side of the box, asking Aaron Collins to give chase, but the ball skidded off the turf and went into the advertising hoardings behind the goal at the south stand end, and Newport had themselves a goal kick. Forest Green did win promotion to League 2 through the playoffs back in 2017 after disappointments in the previous 2 years in a semi-final and a final, and they lost to Tranmere in the 2019 semi-finals in League 2 after they finished 5th. Here's Liam Shepherd touching the ball in field for Newport as they bring the ball forward. Down goes Anthony Hartigan, fouled by Jamil Matt, who's wearing that big fluorescent blue protective cast around his injured right hand.
He looks to be moving well there, doesn't he?
Not hampering his movement.
Not at all, no. He's putting himself about, and he's been very, very good for Forest Green in this opening 15-20 minutes.
Completely motivated, of course, Jamil Matt to put in a performance against the club that had to let him go in the summer because they just couldn't afford to keep him on their budget, particularly in light of the pandemic and what that did to clubs' budgets in the close season. Here's Aaron Lewis for Newport. They've got to try and get a foothold in this game, County. They've won another throw as Lewis runs into Bailey Cargill down this near touchline, right in front of our commentary position, just to the right of the halfway line. We're closer to the north stand, away to our right in the south. It's going to be a long throw from Aaron Lewis, the right wing back for Newport, as he dries the ball on the underside of his jersey. Nobody at the near post, a few runs made towards there now. Bennett's the target, tries to get the flick on, and it came off Jamil Matt, and it's a corner kick to Newport County at the north stand end. They're 2-0 down, it's 2-2 on aggregate.
And they'll be looking to put a good ball in, just as Forest Green did in their first corner.
Liam Shepherd's going to take the corner.
They needed this little break of defending because it's been all Forest Green.
So it will be Liam Shepherd, a right-footed outswinger. Josh Sheehan is about 15 yards back down the touchline, but Shepherd goes along the deck to the edge of the area, going to leave it for Ryan Haynes. The shot is blocked by some Forest Green legs in front of the 6-yard line. Sweetly struck along the deck by Ryan Haynes. Not sure whether that was goal bound. It may well have been, but it was blocked away.
It was a well-worked corner, wasn't it? Out to the edge of the box, and it was a great strike from Haynes.
Well, here's Josh Sheehan for Newport County. They're just settling a bit now, the visitors. Josh Sheehan darting towards the right-hand corner of the box. Plays a 1-2 with Hartigan. Now lays it back for Shepherd. First time ball into the box is volleyed away by Sweeney, but nobody on halfway for Forest Green. And so Mickey Dimitriou has all the time in the world just to guide the ball back to his goalkeeper, Tom King. We played 17 minutes on TalkSport 2. Scoreline here, Forest Green Rovers 2, Newport County 0. Which means it's 2-2 now on aggregate. That lead from the first leg at Rodney Parade cancelled out by the Ibu Adams and Aaron Collins goals. Here's Haynes for Newport, who's just had that sweet drive from the edge of the area blocked away. Plays the ball in field to Josh Sheehan, just ahead of the centre circle. He rolls it right for Shepherd, moving forward from the back, gets to the right-hand corner of the box, lays it off for Lewis on the right touchline. Back in field it goes to Sheehan, tries to play it down the right-hand side of the area, sensing that Lewis had made a run. But there was a Forest Green leg in the way to put it out of play for a throw to the Exiles on this near side.
Better from Newport though, starting to pass the ball around, get their foot on the ball. You know, really haven't started this game very well in the first 15 minutes, but getting themselves into the game now.
That's the voice of Michael Kitely, former Wolves and Burnley forward, you can hear on TalkSport 2. Cross goes into the box from Shepherd, headed away by Adams at the back, the man who scored the header to put Forest Green ahead. The ball's gone all the way down to the other end, back for Newport keeper Tom King. It's a diagonal ball out to the left-hand side, looking for Haynes, but it's over here. Goes over his head and Kane Wilson's for a throw to the home side. Newport, of course, were top of League Two for quite some time, from late October through to Christmas, and then a shocking run of 1 win in 11 saw them actually briefly drop out of the top 7, the Exiles, before they made their way back in. One defeat in their final 9 games earned them 5th place in the end. And under normal circumstances, this second leg would have been played at Rodney Parade, but it was switched because the Rodney Parade pitch is now completely dug up. I imagine that was the plan of the Newport Gwent Council, to get that all dug up. So they switched the ties round. Will that work in Forest Green's favour? It is so far tonight. 19 minutes gone. On TalkSport 2, Forest Green 2, Newport 0, 2-2 on aggregate. Sheehan for Newport finds Lewis on the right-hand side inside his own half. But there's a good challenge, strong challenge coming in from Nicky Cadden to put it out for a Newport throw. Appreciated by those around us of the Forest Green faithful. Michael Kitely.
Yeah, the fans are really in force here, and as you said, helping you just run that little bit further, that little bit harder.
Padraig Armand trying to get away down the right-hand side for Newport. Hits the ball against Cargill. It actually came off Armand last. He wanted a corner, but the assistant flags for a goal kick to Forest Green. 20 minutes gone, 2-0.
Just looking at Forest Green, I like who are you looking at? Bernard.
On your notes,
Bernard. I like Bernard at the back.
Yeah.
He played in central midfield in the first leg, and
he did. Got himself booked as well. He was not shy of putting himself about.
He looks a good player at the back for Forest Green, and he's keeping, he's experienced, he's talking to people, and I think he can do that better from centre half. I think he's more used to playing there as well.
Running repairs for the assistant referee's communication equipment, which appeared to have slipped down his arm. So Martin Coy just going across to help out his buddy on this near side. Stuart Butler, I think it is, who's got the problems, but we can restart with a Forest Green goal kick. And Bernard and Godwin Malife are once again inside the box should Luke McGee want to play a short one. But you've got Armand and Collins watching their every move, and once again Bernard and Godwin Malife have been beckoned away as McGee strikes the ball right-footed downfield for Forest Green. Mack can't win the header, drifted over his head, headed away by Dimitriou, but it skids back towards the Newport penalty area. Goalkeeper Tom King takes the touch, approaching the midway point of the first half, and it's going the way of the Forest Green script so far, Michael Kitely.
It is. I don't think they could have imagine a better start than what they've done tonight. But what a start it's been, and 2 early goals, and fully deserved, to be honest. They started the game so well, and Newport were very negative in the way they started. They weren't on the front foot at all. They were letting Forest Green dictate to them, and rightfully back into this game.
2 goals inside 10 minutes from Adams and Aaron Collins have Forest Green level on aggregate. Newport, who've settled a little better in the last 5 minutes. They have the ball again with Hartigan, trying to lob it down the right-hand side for Hammond. It comes back to halfway, and Ibu Adams wins a throw off Liam Shepherd, right in between the 2 technical areas. And you can hear the 1,200 Forest Green faithful enjoying their evening so far. Why not, indeed? Cargill with the long throw down the left-hand side. Matt was trying to muscle in between 2 of his former teammates to win the header for Forest Green, but it's cleared away by Haynes for Newport, trying to set Lewis Collins away. Luke McGee goes outside of his penalty area and clears it into the trees above the stand away on the far side from us, the west stand. So instead they're going to have to pick up a freshly sanitised ball from one of the cones around the pitch.
Looks like Lewis is going over to the left-hand side to take a long throw in, and that is a threat for Newport.
Every team's got a long throw specialist now, haven't they? Seems to be the way.
Yeah, not quite as good as the laps.
No, but he's still got a lot to answer for, though, hasn't he? Birmingham's had our own this season, Mark Roberts. Here's Aaron Lewis's throw, volleyed away by Jamil Matt. Not much quarter given there, he just thumped it back downfield, but Newport have it again. Haynes, inside left channel, plays it out to the left-hand touchline for Lewis, who's still out on that far left-hand side. Drops at the edge of the area, and Josh Sheehan just trying his luck, but the ball was always sailing over the crossbar. I think McGee had it covered. But that's as close as Newport has come in this opening quarter. 23 minutes gone, 2-0 Forest Green.
Yeah, they'll be more happier with the performance in the last sort of 5-10 minutes from Newport. They've got back into the game, as we said. It's a good strike there, probably not troubling the keepers whatsoever really with it going over, but just getting into the game and getting hold of it, having a couple of throw-ins, a couple of corners, because that first 10 minutes was really frantic, and Forest Green took full advantage of that good start.
It's Michael Kitely you can hear. He has played here, but he was telling me before he can't remember anything about it.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
See, a long time ago for you and me are 2 entirely different things. How old were you when you played here?
I must have been 17, 18. It was for England's Seaside, which is basically England non-league.
Oh, right.
I can't tell you if we won or lost, who we played. Doesn't sound very good,
Must
does
have been
it?
a cracking game then, that's all I can think. This is a cracking game, and it's properly balanced now at 2-2 on aggregate, with Forest Green having these 2 goals back, scored in the 7th and 8th minutes through Ibu Adams and Aaron Collins. You're listening to Talk Sport 2, home of the EFL playoffs, and all 3 playoff finals next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Saturday and Sunday on Talk Sport for the Championship and League One playoffs. Talk Sport 2 on Bank Holiday Monday afternoon for the League 2 playoff. Morecambe already there. No closer to knowing who joins them. Lewis for Newport getting into the area right-hand side, driving it across to the edge of the area, but a deflection took it away from all the black and amber shirts inside the box. And Forest Green get away with it and just clear it downfield, and they end up getting the throw. But fortunate for Lewis, because he got away well down the right.
Yeah, good play from Lewis, and you could hear the dugout just screaming at him, saying, "Get out your fullback," and it's exactly what he did. Yeah, he got a yard and got across him, but it was a good block. But it's a lot more positive from Newport. You're in those areas, just get and go one-on-one. That's what you want to see as a fan and as a manager, because he's screaming at him to do so.
25 minutes gone at the Innocent New Lawn on Talk Sport 2. Forest Green 2-0 up then on the day, 2-2 on aggregate, and Newport have possession again with their right wing back Aaron Lewis. Hartigan's further on the touchline for him, former AFC Wimbledon player Anthony Hartigan. Shepherd gets it to Hartigan via Lewis Collins. Now Sheehan again, the diminutive captain for Newport. Diagonal ball into the box. Dolan tries to bring it down. He's barely had a kick. Matty Dolan in his opening 26 minutes, the man who scored the wonderful opener at Rodney Parade. But he really hasn't got himself in amongst it so far, the Newport number 8.
No, he hasn't, and it was a good run into the box, and it's a great ball from Sheehan. If you feel like Newport are going to get back into this game, you think it's going to come from Sheehan in some way, shape or form. He looks confident.
He wants the ball all the time, doesn't he?
All the time. He's looking to get space, and as you can see, he's got an eye for a pass.
Collected the ball again off the back three rather, should I say, for Newport. And he just drifts beyond Jamil Matt, out to the inside right channel, plays it out to the right wing for Lewis. Lewis, lovely ball into the box, headed away by Don Bernard. He got in front of Lewis Collins, did really well there under pressure from the Newport striker, but it is a corner to County, away to the right of the North Stand end. 2-0 Forest Green.
It's another good ball in from Lewis. He started this game well, Lewis. A couple of good balls into the box, good defending again from Bernard. It's another corner for Newport.
He's a permanent signing now, Aaron Lewis. He was on loan from Lincoln initially. Now he's a permanent signing. But it's Josh Sheehan with this corner for Newport, deep to the far post, and it's turned behind by Bernard. There was nobody in a black and amber shirt behind him, but in fact the ball went out of play from Sheehan's corner kick, says the assistant on this near side. A rueful grin from Sheehan as he turns to look at the assistant. That's given a goal kick instead for Forest Green, when they looked a little nervous with that corner, with the way they dealt with it at the far post, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's because of the wind. It's gusting, isn't it? But Bernard actually dealt with it pretty well, but as you said, they looked a little bit nervous, and especially down this right hand side for Newport, they look strong down here, and Forest Green are going to have to take a look at that.
Forest Green have just kept one clean sheet in their last 7 matches here at the New Lawn, so they'll be mindful of that stat, knowing that they're 2 goals up and they're level on aggregate, but Newport can be dangerous, as they saw in the first leg. Here's Armand on the right hand side for the Exiles, hits the ball against Cargill and wins Newport a throw that Lewis again will presumably, Michael Kitely, hurl into the box here.
Yeah, as we said, it's a good weapon for Newport. You just feel that Newport haven't got the presence that Forest Green have got in and around the box, and as a front man they haven't got what Matt brings to Forest Green.
Lewis goes short with a throw, gets it back from Shepherd, right hand side by the area, left-footed ball into the box, the heads go up and it's headed wide by Dimitri, who's up there, but he saw the header skim off his forehead and go a good 4 or 5 yards wide of Luke McGee's right hand post. Almost at the half-hour mark on TalkSport 2 in this playoff semi-final second leg in League 2. Forest Green 2, Newport 0, 2-2 is the aggregate scoreline.
Yeah, Mike Flynn will be much happier with the performance in the last 10-15 minutes. He would have wished his team had started the game like this.
Well, here's Kane Wilson under pressure from Hartigan as he tries to bring the ball away for Forest Green, and he was fouled by Hartigan. He thought he'd won the ball back legitimately there, Hartigan, but referee Martin Coy disagreed, and Forest Green have a free kick at the edge of their own penalty area.
You need to be careful a little bit, Forest Green. They started off the game, they went direct up to Matt and got Sweeney up there and played direct to both of those, and then now they're trying to play out from the back a little bit. They need to be careful. They've got their two goals back. Let's not give them away. It was lucky there. It could have been quite easily not been a foul, and it would have been a good chance for Newport.
So it's cleared downfield by McGee, the Forest Green keeper, but Newport have quickly won possession back. Bernard trying to let the ball run out of play as he was being hassled and harried by Padraig Armand, and it is indeed out of play for a Forest Green throw on the far side. Half an hour played then, Forest Green 2, Newport 0, if you're just tuning into the EFL playoffs live here on TalkSport 2. Dan Windle back at base, we'll be with him again at half time. Very busy day in the Premier League, of course. Chelsea lost to Aston Villa but still finished 4th in the table for Champions League football. Leicester would have made it 4th with a win, but they lost at home to Tottenham Hotspur by 3-2. Arsenal miss out on European football. Tottenham Hotspur go into the Europa Conference League with their 7th place finish, and West Ham have the Europa League to look forward to next campaign. Handball given against Kane Wilson, and Newport have themselves a free kick down the left-hand side of the Forest Green area. Kane Wilson protests his innocence, but it is a free kick to the Exiles here.
It's one of those decisions, isn't it? Even I don't know what handball is anymore. I don't know how he's supposed to get his hand out of the way of that. He's 2 yards from the cross, and he obviously hits his hand, but I don't know how he's supposed to get out of the way of it.
Well, you saw that with Lloyd Kelly yesterday for Bournemouth, of course, with that penalty for Brentford, which Jonathan Woodgate was so incensed about. Anyway, free kick tight to the left-hand touchline for Newport County. It's about 10 yards from the corner flag. Josh Sheehan and Mickey Dimitriou standing over it. And it will be Sheehan to drive it in right-footed, headed away by Don Bernard, and goes out of play for a throw just behind where the free kick was taken. 2-0 Forest Green, 13 to half-time.
Again, Bernard heading it away. He's cleared a few good crosses now. And they're coming in thick and fast, especially with these long throws.
Well, it's Dimitriou who's going to have the long throw this time, I think. Aaron Lewis is stationed at the edge of the area for any bits and pieces if this throw gets headed clear. In it comes from Dimitriou. Good length on it. Flicks on by Bennett. Lewis Collins trying to get into the far post. Can't apply the finish, and cleared away downfield by Nicky Cadden. Liam Shepherd back there on halfway to retrieve it for Newport County. They left some of the big players forward. Bennett has stayed forward. Dimitriou passes across to Josh Sheehan, inevitably wanting the ball on halfway. Here's a diagonal ball left to right. Beautifully finds Lewis. Cushions the ball on his instep. Takes on Cadden, goes down, and a challenge from Cadden, and that's another free kick to Newport County. Good cross from Sheehan down that right-hand side, and Lewis Collins so nearly in at the far post, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was actually really good defending from Forest Green. Just nudges his forward out of the way. But as you said, Sheehan, for me, best player on the pitch so far. He's got the game by the scruff of his neck.
He's got his head up all the time.
Yeah, he's getting on the ball. He goes by people. He's creating things. Really good player.
And inevitably, he's one of the two players standing over this free kick. Down the right-hand side of the Forest Green penalty area. There's a two-man Forest Green wall just inside the box. Sheehan and Dolan are the two players standing over the free kick. It'll either be the right foot of Sheehan or the left foot of Dolan. It's Dolan, rolls it along the deck to the edge of the area, and Shepherd tries his luck, and it took a deflection on its way over the bar from Cargill. Newport have a corner. 2-0 down, though they are still.
They're pushing though, aren't they? They're pushing for that goal.
And they have a corner that Ryan Haynes will deliver from that far side, the northwest corner. The sky's darkened here in Gloucestershire. In it comes from Haynes. Bennett goes up with a header, can't get the connection. Came off his shoulder and drifted out to the far side of the box, and then Bernard was fouled by Lewis Collins, and Forest Green have a free kick. Just a little bit of afters there between Collins and Bernard. I can tell you, Michael, there was a little bit of ill feeling between both sets of players at the full-time whistle at Rodney Parade on Tuesday, and I'm not sure what it was about, but Jamil Matt was really an unhappy bunny as he came off the pitch. He was not a happy camper at all.
Well, I think they'd have been disappointed with their performance first and foremost, and keen to get this game underway. And he's been lively, Matt, in the first opening 30 minutes.
Well, he flicks the ball on Jamil Matt from the free kick sent downfield, but it won't find Dan Sweeney. Now there's a bit of afters going on there, as a Newport player is down, and referee Coy has got a clutch of players around him. He's going to have a word with Dan Sweeney, who's a good foot taller than the referee.
Yeah, I think he just left one late on Sheehan there. Newport players are not happy. It's good refereeing. Yeah, he's just giving him a couple of words. Hasn't got a yellow out. Just calming the situation down, and that's needed in these types of games, because
it is just a word. You're right. No yellow card for Dan Sweeney.
You are running on a lot of adrenaline, and you do make a lot of rash decisions, and it's good that the refs just had a talking to rather than getting his book out.
That's Michael Kitely you can hear alongside me, a man that's played in all 5 of England's top divisions. Ironic cheers as Scott Bennett passes to the invisible man out on the far side. Just puts it straight out of play for a Forest Green throw. We've got 9 minutes to the break on TalkSport 2. Forest Green 2-0 up on the night. That's 2-2 on aggregate. Extra time beckons as things stand. Ball headed forward by Jordan Moore-Taylor. Ibu Adams tries to wrestle for possession with Dimitri. It's sent downfield by Newport, but Luke McGee, the Forest Green keeper, quickly out of his 18-yard box to send it downfield. Aaron Collins, though, has fouled Ryan Haynes, and that's going to be a free kick to Newport County. Sorry, it's Dimitri who's fouled. I beg your pardon, out on that far side. The rain just seems to intensify. I mentioned that skies were darkening here above the new wall. It's really coming down diagonally, isn't it, as we look, Michael Kitely, from left to right with this strong wind.
It is, and you'd think that would suit the Forest Green players because they've got some presence in their team, but it's all Newport at the minute, you know, controlling the possession of the play.
That first 10 minutes was all Forest Green, where they got their 2 goals. Since then, Newport County have settled, but it's still Forest Green 2, Newport 0, which means it's 2-2, remember. Now, left-hand side, Dimitri for Newport, inside his own half. Plays it back for Scott Bennett. Very versatile player, Bennett. Can play midfield as well as centre-back. Dolan comes deep to pick up possession. Plays the ball into Sheehan in the centre circle. Under pressure, he has to go back for Bennett. Bennett finds Hartigan. A lovely layoff for Sheehan. Sheehan just pirouettes away from Jordan Moore-Taylor and passes right for Liam Shepherd, just shy of the halfway line. First time ball over halfway for Hartigan, but Hartigan is dispossessed, and Aaron Collins tries to burst through the middle, but out steps Scott Bennett, calmly takes a step forward and just wins the ball back for County.
It was just a poor second touch, wasn't it, from Collins? Good opportunity to catch Newport on the break.
Early ball from Demetriou, trying to send the ball into the area for Lewis Collins at the edge of the box, but he had a bit of an amble in his boot there, Nicky Demetriou, and it went out of play for a Forest Green goal kick. Newport have drawn their last 3 away, but have conceded now in 6 of their last 7 games on their travels, and they found themselves back level on aggregate inside 10 minutes here in Gloucestershire.
Just looking at Sweeney there, he's having a right go at the back 4, Forest Green back 4, asking them to push up, and he probably feels that they're too far away from the midfield. That's why Newport have got on top.
Now Aaron Collins trying to play the ball through for Ibu Adams, but it's chested away calmly by Demetriou. Good foot in by Adams, but he's actually conceded a free kick there, Ibu Adams, against Josh Sheehan. Adams back from suspension today, joined from Ebbsfleet a couple of years ago. Ibu Adams, he was at Norwich as a kid, but never made any appearances at Carrow Road. Very important player back tonight from that band called Jimmy Ball. Just over 5 to half-time. 2-0 Forest Green lead. 2-2 on aggregate. Godwin Malife, the centre-half, tries to pass out to this near touchline for Cadden, but it went straight out of play. Played behind Cadden in the end. So it's a throw-in for Newport County, taken by Aaron Lewis. Shepherd sends the ball forward to Lewis Collins, who's offside, but who couldn't control it anyway. The ball just bounced awkwardly off this wet, greasy surface. Michael Kitely made it tough for him.
Yeah, just didn't get the bounce right, did he? It looked like he handballed it, but good advantage from the ref.
Ball sent downfield by Bernard for Forest Green. Looking for Ibu Adams, turns his man neatly. Aaron Collins going for it through the centre. Here is Alan Collins into the area, goes round the keeper, who touches him, brings him down, and he's been given as a foul and simulation, and it's going to be a yellow card for Aaron Collins for simulation. And there's a bit of afters between various players in that penalty area, but the upshot of it is it's no penalty. Instead, it's a yellow card for Aaron Collins for diving. Michael Kitely.
Oh, it's a difficult one that for me. From here it looked a penalty. I don't know about you, but the reaction of the players tells you that it probably wasn't, and it was a dive.
Well, the yellow card is coming Aaron Collins' way.
You just felt his second touch was too heavy, and that's why he had to try and go round the keeper rather than trying to slot it home or dinking it over him.
Well, we don't have the benefit of replays here at the New Lawn. We just saw it at first sight. You did wonder at first whether there was a slight touch or whether the touch was invited. Maybe that's what referee Coy thought. Well, according to back at base, Dan Windle and our producer Kate are looking on, and it looked to them like it was indeed simulation from Aaron Collins, so a justified yellow card.
I think the reaction of the players from Newport, you can always tell, if a player dives and they react like that, then 9 times out of 10 they're right. And
well, I should have looked to see what his brother thought of it, Lewis, who was actually at the other end of the field.
So it was a good decision and good refereeing again from the ref.
So it stays 2-0, 4 minutes to half-time. Ball clipped down the left-hand side and headed out of play by Liam Shepherd for a Forest Green throw. That was a very, very high-tension moment. Because it was a lovely through ball to him because Collins was calling for it through the centre. The ball, as you say rightly, Michael Kightley, its first touch was great. The second touch actually gave Tom King a chance to narrow the angle.
I'm not so sure he needed the second touch, if I'm honest. His first touch was good enough for them to shoot. And it was a bit too heavy for me, and that's why he then tried to go around the goalkeeper. And he's obviously tried to buy his team a penalty and rightly booked.
I've just realised, I just said, as you said rightly, Michael Kightley, so I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
There's a song in that.
There is. Morrissey. It sounds like a Smiths, rightly Mr. Kightley. The B-side to Frankly Mr. Shankly. Throw into Forest Green Rovers. What am I talking about? 3 minutes to half-time. 2-0 to Forest Green. And this League 2 semi-final second leg is back in the balance. And it has been since the 8th minute when Aaron Collins scored that second goal. Here's Abu Adams who scored the first. Left-hand corner of the Newport box. Shows great strength to hold up a couple of challenges. And then he's brought down by Hartigan. And it's a free kick to Forest Green Rovers. Quite the way out towards the left of centre. About 30 yards out, I would say. But somebody's going to have a shot at goal from here for Forest Green.
Yeah, it's a similar situation to the free kick we had just before the first goal. And maybe this one's a bit wider, more suitable for a cross rather than a shot.
Well, Nicky Cadden's shaping to take it, and he's a left-footed player. It's out on the left-hand side, so with a clutch of players that have gone forward to the far post, like Matt and Sweeney and Godwin Malife.
You just feel that they're a threat, Forest Green, from set pieces.
Got a lot of height in there, haven't they?
You look at the box here, and there's a lot more height in the Forest Green.
Sweeney's coming with a long run unmarked from the far post, and Cadden tried to go for the near post to catch out the keeper, but got it all wrong, and it went a good 3 or 4 yards wide. He tried to do what Joe Bryan did for Fulham against Brentford in the Championship player final last year. Ends up just being a county goal kick. 2-0 Forest Green.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was the right decision. As you said, there was numbers in the box there. Sweeney was on the back post. Someone was marking him that was half the size of him, and he wants the ball in the box.
Why am I shivering? It's mid-May.
Doesn't feel like mid-May.
What's going on? Absolutely miserable day. I'm sure it's been pretty miserable wherever you've been around the UK. But the Forest Green fans don't really care about the weather at the minute because they've seen their team get themselves back level in this tie and given themselves every chance. Remember, they've, of course, never played in the third tier of English football. They've not long got into the fourth tier. Because Mark Cooper was in charge until very recently, and he was dismissed, and Jimmy Ball, the under-18s manager, took over. In fact, Dale Vince was saying that he was hoping he would have women applicants for the job. And there was one particular female manager he had in mind who he thought had applied, but as it turned out, that lady hadn't done so. And he was quite disappointed about it because he would have most definitely been interested in talking to that individual, whoever she is. We're into 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, as announced by the man with the public address system and the speakers facing right into my face, which is why it's very easy for you to hear what he has to say. Ball goes back to Liam Shepherd here at the new lawn. And this lawn's getting a right old soaking because the rain is teeming down now. A really dark cloud directly over the stadium as Pedregaman flicks the ball on for Newport, but although Lewis Collins made the run beyond him, very easy for Luke McGee to pick it up inside the penalty area. So we're into that minimum 2 minutes of added time on TalkSport 2. And McGee thinks about bowling the ball out, but instead will just roll the ball to the edge of the area and clear it downfield right-footed. Holds up slightly in the breeze. Flicked on neatly by Matt. Collins again. He's in behind Lewis. Into the area. Alan Collins tries to drive. Hits the bar. I think King got a touch onto it. If that's the case, that's a brilliant save from Tom King in the Newport goal. He touched it onto the crossbar and Newport survived. Back pass from Bernard at the other end, almost intercepted by Armand, and here come Newport at the end of the half on the counter-attack after Forest Green hit the bar. Lewis, right hand side, looks for Shepherd, but across comes Cadden and he clears it downfield, and Collins will keep it in play. It's 2-on-2 as Forest Green attack again. Collins trying to go around Shepherd and Bennett into the area. No penalty again. This time no claims of simulation, so Collins can just pick himself back up. What a passage of play, Michael Kitely.
What a couple of minutes. Wow. First of all, how well did Collins do the first opportunity? Goes by two, gets into the box and hits a great shot, and as you said, I think the keeper saves it. I'm sure he does. I'm sure King gets a hand to it. Yeah, I'm sure he does, onto the crossbar. Newport, they go up the other end and work it down the right hand side. Great defending from Cadden, and sets Collins away again. Works his way into the box and goes down. I'm not sure he dived, but wasn't a foul for me. But what an ending to the half.
And referee Martin Coy brings the first half to a close. What a first 45 minutes of football we've had here in Gloucestershire, because Forest Green took just 8 minutes to cancel out the 2-goal lead that Newport brought here. Ibu Adams with a bullet header from a corner for 1-0, and then from Bailey Cargill's delicious cross from deep on the left-hand side, Aaron Collins touched it home for 2-0. Collins went down later in the half under pressure from Tom King, wanted a penalty but instead got a yellow card for simulation. Then Collins got in behind the Newport back line, but a fingertip touch from Tom King touched his shot onto the crossbar. Couple of half chances for Newport at the other end. Ryan Haynes with a drive from distance that was blocked on its way to goal by Forest Green legs. Newport got better as the half went on, but Forest Green will be delighted to go in at half-time with the tie all square on aggregate at 2-2, because the half-time scoreline here on the night is Forest Green Rovers 2, Newport County 0.
Well, thankfully I'm dry. It's just the equipment I'm worried about. I've got my big coat on in the middle of May. The game's gone, I'm telling you, Michael. The game's absolutely gone.
Normally end of season you'd think it'd be sunny, but
yeah. But it is absolutely persisting down here in Gloucestershire. Now the two changes are being made by Michael Flint at the start of the second half. Padraig Ahmed is one of those definitely off, and I think Anthony Hartigan, Michael, is the other player that's been sacrificed. Josh Labadie, back from his gash knee, is coming on to replace him, and Ryan Taylor for a slightly taller, more physical option up front alongside Lewis Collins.
Yeah, we spoke about in the first half, we just felt they didn't have a presence up front, Newport, and you know, Sheehan was controlling the game a lot in midfield, but up front they just had nothing to sort of play off, and Taylor will be looking to come on and do that, and you know, it's good that Finn's seen that, makes those changes early and gives his team a chance to try and win this game.
Let's hear you.
Well, I wasn't going to compete with him. There's no point. Back underway for the start of the second half, and Ryan Taylor immediately gets into the action for Newport County, but there's a foul by a Newport player. So the Forest Green lineup is the same as at the start of the game. Luke McGee, the goalkeeper. Don Bernard, Udoka Gobin Malife, Dan Sweeney and Bailey Cargill in defence. Kane Wilson, Ibu Adams, Jordan Moore Taylor, Nicky Cadden in midfield, and Jamil Matten, Aaron Collins up front. For Newport now they've revamped. Tom King is still the keeper. Still three at the back, Liam Shepherd, Scott Bennett and Mickey Demetriou. A break off for a minute as Don Bernard sends the ball back to the Forest Green keeper McGee. Midfield is now Aaron Lewis, Josh Labadie, Josh Sheehan, Matt Dolan and Ryan Haynes. And Ryan Taylor is now partnering Lewis Collins up front for the Exiles. So 45 minutes, and if things stay as they are, remember, we will have an extra half hour at least here on TalkSport 2, extra time and the provision for a penalty shootout. And this heavy rain is starting to have a little bit of an effect on the playing surface. You can just start to see there's a few players splashing about a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of water on the pitch, and you feel it's the team that goes a little bit more direct
as Aaron Collins is caught offside down the right hand side of the box. Carry on, Michael.
Will be a little bit more effective, and I think that's why Taylor's come on for Newport. I've just noticed that Bennett's changed positions as well with Dolan, and Dolan stepped into the back three. And probably Bennett gives them a little bit more of a presence in midfield because they lost that battle in the first half.
That's very true. Dolan's in the middle of the centre halves, with Shepherd to his right, Dimitri to his left, and Bennett's pushed up further forward. Out of play it goes for a Forest Green throw. Kane Wilson just hobbling a little bit on this near side. Forest Green in their traditional green strip with a sort of black tiger stripe across the shirts, with the green shorts and socks as well. Newport County in their traditional first choice colours as well as black and amber shirts, black shorts, black socks. And Forest Green attacking the north stand away to our right in this second half, and plenty of supporters socially distanced in those terraces. I always get a bit wistful when I see a football ground with terracing rather than seats everywhere. Long ball downfield looking to pick out Lewis Collins, but that's really well defended by Udoka Govin Malife, but there's a Newport player down with a head injury. I think it's Lewis Collins who may well have been caught by Jamil Matt, and the assistant is being asked all sorts of questions by the Newport players. What did you see? What did you see?
Well, it was a long throw down the line, wasn't it? I think Matt's just caught him with an elbow. I don't think there was any intent in it. You're going up for a header, you've got to use your arms, and I think it's just caught him there. But for me, there's no question that the gamble of playing Matt has paid off in this first half, more so, and he's just a threat. He really is. He gets hold of the ball, and even when he doesn't win the flick-ons, he just makes it difficult for the Newport defenders, and it's been a gamble well paid off.
Collins is still down receiving treatment. Don't know whether Sam Matterface is passing anywhere near the new launch stadium, but if you are Sam, can I borrow your heated gilet for the last 40 minutes of this game? I put a pair of socks on today, relatively thick pair. That won't be that cold. What the dickens?
I put another jumper on last minute, and I'm glad I did.
You never thought you'd be worried about underclubbing with your choice of clothing for a game in mid-May, but here we are. Thankfully Collins is back on his feet, just being led over to this near touchline. So it's Dimitri, who's getting treatment.
And that's the thing about the conditions, you know, it's not the type of game to play through the lines and play pretty football. You know, it's get it up to Matt and Sweeney and make it difficult for Newport, and they did that very well in the first 10 minutes, and that's what got them their 2 goals.
Dimitri now just standing directly in front of our commentary position. We're only about 10 rows back in the west stand here at the new lawn stadium. Referee's going to restart play with a drop ball. Dimitri's back on, so we're 11 against 11 once again on TalkSport 2. Nearly 5 minutes gone in the second half, and you can see as players pass the ball around the splashes and the puddles of water. It's not really affecting the roll of the ball too much, but you just never know as the rain continues to fall whether it might just cause the occasional mistake here and there when the ball holds up when it shouldn't, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, you can see a couple of puddles, can't you? And there's one in the penalty box of Newport. It's definitely going to play its part.
That's where the spare goal is normally at when they do their shooting drills in the warm-up before the game. Now here's Liam Shepherd back in his own right wing back position, trying to defend the ball from Nicky Cadden, and he's won a throw for Newport County, who are attacking the Easy Group South stand away to our left in this second period. I'm sure you can still hear the rain teeming down on the stand above us with our effects microphones here at the new lawn. It is a pretty grotty early evening. Despite the beautiful scenery around us, you can't see much of the scenery in Gloucestershire around us because of the cloud cover. Throw to Newport again, inside their own half though. Aaron Lewis once again drying the ball on his undershirt before he'll launch it down the far touchline, the right-hand touchline. Forest Green trying to win it back, and they have won it back. And it's sent downfield by Godwin Malife, asking Jamil Matt to give chase, but it will just bounce through to Tom King. And the Newport keeper who's keeping Nick Townsend out the side. now made 50 appearances for Newport. He's been back in for the last 6 games of the season. They've kind of had a proper competition, those two, for the number 1 jersey at Newport, and King is the man in charge at the moment.
That ball goes out of play, so throw to Forest Green.
We felt he made a good save just before half-time. We haven't seen it again, but could be a crucial save that if he did get a touch on it. Collins' chance that hit the bar.
It's a throw into Forest Green now. Midway point of the Newport half down the right-hand side. Wilson lobs it in for Dan Sweeney. Is caught by Labadie, his opposite number 4. Free kick. Sweeney gets quickly to his feet, thinks about taking a quick one, but he's going to leave it instead for Nicky Cadden to swing a ball into the box, and Sweeney is trotting forward to help with the height that Forest Green will possess at this free kick.
Yeah, again, we spoke about in the first half from set plays, they look dangerous. It's another good opportunity now.
Real sense of anticipation around the new lawn as Nicky Cadden sends this left-footed free kick into the box. Right, Schwab, it's in! It's gone all the way through! Nicky Cadden trains it! They've turned it around in spectacular fashion! Forest Green Rovers 3-0 up on the night, 3-2 on aggregate, and Nicky Cadden's free kick went straight through everybody! Forest Green 3, Newport County 0!
And we spoke about it, didn't they? They look a threat from set pieces, but this time it goes all the way in. It's a great delivery from Cadden in the first half from a corner and now from a free kick. I'm not sure he's trying to score, but he's just put it into an area, and the keeper thinks that someone's going to head it. No one heads it, and it goes into the far corner. And again, another good start from Forest Green, and they deserve it. They really do. They've been more of a threat than Newport. Fair play to them. They've come out second half and gone the same.
Nicky Cadden hasn't scored since January. There were 2 new Forest Green players. I think Jamil Matt was up there. Godwin Malife trying to get a final touch, and that maybe will put Tom King off in terms of trying to go for the ball. It just went beyond him into the corner, and Forest Green are now in control of the tie. They're in control of the match. They're 3-0 up on the night, 3-2 up on aggregate. 8 minutes gone in the second half on TalkSport 2. And now Michael Flynn, just down in front of us to our left, really has some thinking to do as Newport boss.
Yeah, he has. He's made 2 changes and they've not made any difference, to be honest. But he had 2 good opportunities in the first half, Cadden, from set plays, from free kicks, and he chose the wrong decision. And this time he chose the right one. It was a great delivery, one of those deliveries where you just think, if I can aim for the far post, if everyone misses it and it goes in, then great, and that's exactly what happened.
I did say there was a sense of anticipation around the ground just before Cadden struck that free kick. Maybe they knew what was coming, all sat around me. 3-2 on aggregate to Forest Green Rovers, a chance for their first ever EFL playoff tie win. Morecambe await in the final at Wembley a week tomorrow. You'll hear it live on TalkSport 2 from the National Stadium. But Newport have got plenty of time to get themselves back into this tie. With Liam Shepherd down the right-hand side. He's bought by Cadden off the ball. It's a free kick to Newport County, right-hand side. And they can swing the ball into the box here. Josh Sheehan, the obvious man to take the set piece. Here's Michael Kitely.
Yeah, they're going to try and do the same now that what Forest Green just done. Delivery needs to be key, but you just feel that Forest Green have got more of a presence. You know, you look at the box now, and big lads, and you're going to want to go and head the ball. Newport are going to need to get back into this game quick.
We believe played Cargill. Sheehan, a low flat delivery into the box, and it's right to the arms of the keeper, Luke McGee. Tried to catch him out of the near post, and there were volleys flying all around him. Adams ended up sliding into the advertising hoardings behind the goal, the Forest Green number 8, but it is back in the keeper's arms and Forest Green can clear their lines. 10 minutes gone in the second half. 3-0 to Forest Green, 3-2 on aggregate.
They just look more hungry, don't they, Forest Green? When they're defending, when they're attacking, they look a little bit more hungry than Newport. And I don't know whether that's because of before the game they thought they were down and out and sort of had that nothing to lose mentality, and they've turned this tie on the head.
Well, I was at the Johnny Rock Stadium this time last year, well not this time last year, in the playoffs last year, more like in July, when it was the Callum Morton show for Northampton Town, when they were behind after the home leg of their semi-final against Cheltenham Town, and won by this sort of scoreline to go through to Wembley. And of course Northampton went up, only to come straight back down, of course. But Forest Green are heading for Wembley as it stands, and they're in the box into the near post. Jamil Mack trying to get something on it, but that's well claimed at his near post by Newport keeper Tom King. But as clearance downfield almost lands on the roof of this stand, this east stand here at the new lawn, and Forest Green can take their time over the throw-in. 11 minutes gone in the second half. It's 3-0 to Forest Green.
From minute one, Forest Green have had more urgency than Newport, and it's shown. And they got there with 2 early goals, and they've just built on that. And now Newport are struggling to try and get back into the game.
Ball sent back by Dan Sweeney to the Forest Green keeper Luke McGee. Strikes it first time downfield, but that's a good strong header clear from Matt Dolan. Sheehan turns away from his man. Claims he was fouled by Adams. Adams tries to dummy his way past Dimitri, and now he's in again, he's in behind. Adams in the area, right hand side, across the face of goal. It goes beyond loads of players. In comes Moore Taylor, and his shot is deflected up and over the bar for a corner kick to Forest Green Rovers at the north stand end. 3-0 they lead.
Yeah, Adams down the right hand side, he's had a great game so far. I just felt he could have just drove into the box rather than making a cross, but he crossed it and it was a great block in the end. I'm not quite sure who it was, but it's all Forest Green. Looks like there's going to be a couple of changes for Newport, and it's needed, it really is.
The veteran Kevin Ellison is going to be on for Newport sooner rather than later, and Nicky Maynard, another player with vast experience. But here's Cadden's corner for Forest Green. Adams tries to get on to the header, but it's cleared away, and Lewis Collins trying to bring the ball forward for Newport County. He's now surrounded by green shirts. One of them, Dan Sweeney, fouls his man, put his hand on the ball I think as well, and Newport have a free kick. And Forest Green are trying to delay the taking of that free kick. And I think Dan Sweeney might have talked himself into a yellow card here with too much dissent and professionalism, or is it just a final referee-style public warning in the wrestling? It is. No yellow card for Dan Sweeney.
Just keeping hold of the ball far too long. The referee's liking experience.
Begovic yesterday trying to, when Tony had scored a penalty, and Begovic chases after him to knock the ball out of his hands after Tony's got the ball out the net.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that one was about.
Never seen the like.
Amused.
Michael
Sweeney using his experience there, slowing the game down.
Yeah. It's Michael Kitely. You can hear the former Wolves and Burnley forward alongside me, Ian Dancer, here at the new lawn. Nearly an hour played. Ball's out of play as Forest Green try to send Debu Adams away down the right. We're throwing to Newport County, so the double change is just being finalised by Michael Flynn and his coaching staff, but it will be Nicky Maynard at 34 years of age and Kevin Ellison at 42 years young.
Well, we spoke about the experience, didn't we, on the bench. If they need it, they've got it, and they certainly do need it right now.
They're going to be on shortly. They're just receiving some final words. Ellison's now just sat down directly beneath us, ready to be introduced as Tom King clears the ball into this strong wind that's blowing in the Newport players' places in this second half. Shepherd clips the ball down the right for County, looking for Lewis Collins, who holds it up well down the right hand side. He was fouled, he had his heels clipped. Free kick to Newport County out on the right hand touchline, and a chance to send the ball into the box again. They're 3-0 down Newport, 3-2 down on aggregate.
Yeah, it's over on the right hand side, this free kick in a really good position, and you feel it suits a left footer for an in swinger. It's been shearing on the dead ball all night for Newport, but I feel this is better for a left footer.
Well, it's Dolan and Sheehan again standing over this free kick. Midway point, actually almost level with the edge of the Forest Green penalty area, down the Newport right, tight to the touchline. It is going to be Matty Dolan, left-footed in swinger into the near post, headed away by Bernard. Ryan Haynes retrieves possession for Newport. Sheehan tries to chip it up to the edge of the area. Breaks for Ryan Haynes again in the centre of the Forest Green half. Shovels it out left to Labadie. Labadie, he's fouled, is he, from behind? Free kick. Matt was the man that brought him down. They wanted to take the free kick quickly, but this is the another double substitution for Newport County. And Matt Dolan is being taken off to allow Nicky Maynard to come on. Maynard, as I mentioned, 34 years young. And in terms of Kevin Ellison, wearing number 22, he's coming on for the wing-back Aaron Lewis. So they're really going for it here, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, they are.
See what they do in terms of their formation now that Maynard and Ellison are on.
Yeah, we've got 4 forwards on the pitch now for Newport.
And there's still just less than half an hour to play. They need a goal to force extra time, at the very least, of course. They have this free kick, left-hand side, swung into the box by Haynes. Keeper stays at home, headed away for Newport by Ibu Adams, and he might pick up the loose ball, but it's broken for Dimitriou. Dimitriou intercepted by Goblin Malife, and away comes Cadden down the left-hand side for Forest Green. Players herring forward in green to try and keep up with him. Cadden looks to swing the cross in. It's over everyone's head and straight into the grateful arms of Newport keeper Tom King. 62 gone on TalkSport 2, 3-0 to Forest Green.
What a game of football we've got on our hands here. It's like a basketball game at the minute. It's great to watch. Both teams really going for it.
So you've now got Lewis Collins on the right of the 4, Ellison on the left of the 4, Ryan Taylor and Nicky Maynard going through the centre for Newport County, and it's Maynard trying to get involved down the right-hand side of the box, but the ball again skips away off the greasy, wet surface and behind for a Forest Green goal kick.
Even the Newport players are looking over at the bench. They don't know what formation they're playing at the minute. There's so many forwards on the pitch.
Yeah, this instruction's being barked out by all sorts from the Newport bench as to what exactly they want players to do. But certainly in terms of that front 4 from left to right, it's Ellison, Taylor, Maynard and Collins, the way that they're lined up. If it stays like this for too much longer, they'll be playing 11 forward.
I'm just looking at the centre midfielders as well. They look short in there. You know, you've got Sheehan and Labadie. They're up against 3 centre midfielders for Forest Green.
We have a throw, Forest Green, down the left-hand side. Midway point of the Newport half. Floodlights start to take more of an effect here under really darkening skies in Gloucestershire. Hooked away by Scott Bennett for Newport County, headed out of play by Jordan Moore-Taylor. It's Ian Danter and Michael Kitely with you. Next Saturday afternoon on TalkSport, the Championship playoff final and the Champions League final in the evening. No other radio station is bringing you both of those games, and it's Swansea-Brentford. Mick McCarthy will be joining David Connolly and Sam Matterface, your commentator, for that game at Wembley Stadium. Now here come Newport, Forest Green rather, down the left-hand side of the box. Jamil Mack got to the byline, tried to square it across goal, but couldn't get the purchase on the cross, and King was able to claim for Newport County. But they're playing Russian roulette awfully early here, Michael Kitely, with this 4 forwards idea, Newport County.
Yeah, they're leaving themselves bare at the back. They really are. And at the minute, if anyone's going to score, you think it's going to be Forest Green.
Now, Josh Sheehan tries to clip the ball out to the right-hand side. He was looking for Lewis Collins, but the ball sort of arced away in this strong wind that's blowing into the Newport players' faces in this second half and just drifted out of play for a throw-in to Forest Green. Just over 25 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. A reminder, if you're just tuning in, Forest Green are ahead on the night by 3-0. So not only have they cancelled out Newport's lead from the first leg, they now have a 3-2 advantage, Forest Green, on aggregate. And they have a throw to Forest Green out on the left-hand side again, but closer to the halfway line, to be taken by Bailey Cargill, once of Bournemouth, brought through by Eddie Howe. Never made an impact really though at the Vitality, and spells at Coventry and other clubs before he came to the new lawn.
The players that have come in tonight that didn't play in the first leg, Sweeney, Adams and Matt in particular, have really changed this tie for me. All 3 of those have really turned up and made a massive difference in Forest Green.
Nicky Cadden's not done too bad as well. It's his goal that's currently sending Forest Green to Wembley Stadium.
Well, there you go. That was the 4th change, wasn't it? Yeah, all 4. What a response.
Cargill with a throw for Forest Green into the area. Matt gets the flick on, but it bounces through to Tom King. Approaching the midway point of the second half. Here's Ryan Haynes for Newport. running up to halfway, stepping inside Ibu Adams, but the ball gets away from him and it's won back by Dan Sweeney, trying to release Adams down the right hand side. Dimitriou gets it clear. Ellison tries to get his first touch, keeping it in play on this near touchline, but it had already gone out over the touchline before the very distinctive figure of Kevin Ellison could get a touch. And what more incentive does Kevin Ellison want to get a goal, to get Newport back in this tie, than knowing that his old club Morecambe are waiting in the final at Wembley? You may well have seen when he scored for Newport against Morecambe, the club that let him go, he went straight to the Morecambe bench and stood right in front of Derek Adams as if to say, you see what you let go? There's all the incentive you need.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. To do that against your old team when you feel like you've been mistreated, from a senior pro. It was great to see him score, and I'm sure he would love to do that at Wembley, but his team are going to have to play better if they're going to get back into this game.
I bet Derek Adams isn't drawing him on right now.
No, I don't think he'll be wanting him to play against him again.
Back it goes into the Newport half. Got to find a goal from somewhere, Newport County. Otherwise, Forest Green are through to the final of the week tomorrow. Now Dimitriou clashes with Godwin Malife, and the advantage tried to be played by the referee, but eventually he's decided that a free kick to Forest Green is the best thing to give. Quarter of the 90 to go. Forest Green 3, Newport 0. They're 3-2 up, Michael Kiteley.
They are, and thoroughly deserve it in my opinion. Just add more urgency to their game. They've been on the front foot from minute one, and just look like they want to take the game to Newport. Newport have been very negative in the way that they've set up, which I was surprised with, to be honest. But they deserve to be in front, they really do.
It's going to be Don Bernard with a free kick for Forest Green. Chip to the edge of the area. Comes off the back of a teammate. Oh, Collins is in, and he hits it straight at Tom King. Somehow the ball came off the shoulder of a Newport player, Aaron Collins, in behind the Newport back line. But his tame effort went straight into the arms of Tom King. Stays 3-0 Forest Green.
Yeah, it was a difficult chance, wasn't it? It was just coming over his shoulder. He's waiting for the ball to drop down, and he can't really get anything on it. He sort of gets a toe to it, but not enough power on it. But another good chance. The chances are all coming from Forest Green.
And they have a throw on the far side of the field, which is going to be taken by Bailey Cargill, 25 yards inside Newport territory, looking to be headed in field by Jamil Matt, but he was using too much strength on that far side, so Newport have themselves a free kick.
The chances that Forest Green have had, they've not been anything clever. They've been balls into the box, into good areas, and flick-ons, and that's what this game's about. The conditions are not there for playing fancy football.
Kevin Ellison goes for goal. Oh my goodness, Kevin Ellison, he's done it again for Newport County. He desperately wants to play his old club at Wembley. He wants to face Morecambe, and from distance he's just taken a pot shot that kissed the underside of the crossbar, beat McGee and went in. It's 3-1 on the night. We are back all square on aggregate, courtesy of the veteran Kevin Ellison.
What a finish, and it's a goal out of nothing, it really is. And he works it on the edge of the box, and I think the keeper should save it, if I'm honest, but it goes over the keeper and hits the underside of the bar. What a story for Kevin Ellison. We're just speaking about how he'd love to play against his old team at Wembley, and he's got his side right back into this game.
Over 700 career appearances, 8 years at Morecambe for Kevin Ellison. He scored a precious goal for the Exiles here, and a change being made. Priestley Farquharson's coming on. He came on in the first leg as well. Scott Bennett is being withdrawn. Looks like he's going into kind of looks like a back four that they're playing now, Newport County, with Shepherd, Farquharson, Dimitriou and Haynes in a back four. Back underway on TalkSport 2, 20 minutes to go, and as it stands, it's not going to be the last 20 minutes. There's going to be another half hour here, because we're 3-3 on aggregate. Forest Green trying to attack again down the left hand side with Cadden. One back by Labadie, but illegally so, says the referee. Free kick to Forest Green. That goal from Ellison came out of absolutely nothing, didn't it, Michael Kiteley?
Absolutely nothing. We felt if there was going to be another goal, it's going to come from Forest Green, and Ellison, using his experience, gets his body in the way of things, holds it up, gets a couple of yards for himself and takes a shot on. I felt McGee should save it, I really do. It wasn't that powerful, the shot, but goes over him. But, what a story for Ellison to score.
If he'd been Kevin Ellison's height, he would have got it. I think Ellison's got a couple of inches on Luke.
Yeah, he has, yeah. Another dangerous opportunity here, though, for Forest Green.
Down the left-hand side of the Newport box, Forest Green have a free kick. The old vanishing spray's gone down from the referee. I bet it's already evaporated in this teeming rain on the pitch. It's going to be Cadden to take it for Forest Green Rovers. Matt and Cargill are on the 6-yard line. Sweeney and Adams coming from deeper in the penalty area. In it comes to the far post. Up goes Cargill, heading off the line for Newport County. Dimitri was who got it clear. It's not out of the box yet. Adams trying to turn and twist and send the ball goalwards for Forest Green. Has to go outside the box and leave it for Cadden once again. Ball's put behind. It's a goal kick in the end. I thought it was a corner, but it's been given as a goal kick. Cadden got the last touch, but Mickey Dimitriou, right place, right time for Newport County to keep them level.
It's a great clearance off the line, isn't it? When the ball goes over his head, you see straight away he goes back to the goal line. And it's a good header from Cargill back to the far post, and really good defending from Dimitriou, going back onto his goal line and heading it clear.
Ian Dancer and Michael Kitely with you on TalkSport 2. God, the playoffs. You just can't beat them. You cannot beat them. Every single playoff tie, all 12 semi-final legs have provided more than their fair share of brilliant drama and excitement. And that's exactly what's happened here at the New Lawn. I remind you, we started at 2-0 to Newport County from the first leg. Within 8 minutes, Forest Green were level on aggregate. Then they went 3-1 up early in the second half through 3-0 up through Nicky Cadden's free kick. But Kevin Ellison, the 42-year-old, has brought Newport County level on aggregate with a left-footed strike that kissed the underside of the crossbar and went in. And now Newport County have a free kick on the halfway line that Josh Sheehan is preparing to take. Farquharson was there with him, but Sheehan looks up very central. He clips it out to the right-hand corner of the box. Dimitriou goes up for a header, headed clear by Godwin Malife. It was Matt up there as well, and then Forest Green win themselves a throw in their left-back position. I wonder whether Jimmy Ball's considering making any change. We've seen that many changes, of course, from Newport County. Not seen anything from Forest Green yet, Michael Kitely.
No, we haven't, but they've been the better team, haven't they? Let's be honest. Up until that goal from Ellison, they've looked comfortable.
So they don't need to make a change, is what you're saying?
Maybe not. I think he will be looking at that, and obviously if there's extra time, obviously he wants to freshen up things. But, they was well worthy of their 3-0 lead that they had. But now it looks like Newport are controlling the game a little bit more. We might want to change a couple.
Extra time beckons as things stand on TalkSport 2. 3-1 to Forest Green here in this leg, but 3-3 on aggregate. Remember, away goals do not count double in the playoffs, so the fact that Newport have an away goal matters not. Here's Josh Sheehan inside the centre circle, just taking the game down to walking pace. Still plenty forward for Newport, wanting a long ball sent downfield. Ball just holds up in the surface water on this near side just for a moment. So they've worked the ball back in field to Josh Sheehan, who's now darting into the Forest Green half with the ball at his feet. Sends it out left for Ryan Haynes. Haynes looking to take on Adams, gets to the byline, ball into the near post, driven in! Josh Remedy! Newport County lead! They're now 3-2 behind in the tie, but they are back ahead, 4-3 on aggregate, and it's Josh Lamedy stroking the ball in on the hard volley with his left foot into the bottom corner, with McGee beaten again, and now Newport County are back in control of the tie. It's Forest Green 3, Newport 2, but at 4-3 on aggregate, it's Newport heading back to Wembley now.
You just couldn't write this, could you? You really couldn't. You just felt Forest Green was sitting off a little bit there and letting Newport have the ball. And Sheehan runs into that space and makes something happen. And it's a great ball from Haynes on the left-hand side. Gets his yard, gets a cross in, and what a finish from Labadie. Left foot into the far corner. And that's what he's been brought on to do at half-time. And he's got his team back into the lead. Not on the night, but in the tie.
3-2 here at the new lawn, but 4-3 crucially on aggregate to the Exiles. And now Forest Green have got to go again. 14 minutes to play on TalkSport 2 in the EFL playoffs. Goodness me. A game that really has toed and froed. And it's throwing in the way of Newport County at the moment. And now Forest Green may be tempted to make some changes from the bench to freshen things up. Meanwhile, it's a goal kick to Newport County away to our right-hand side. Tom King to take it. Of course, they've got all these attacking options on Newport County. Now these attackers are going to have to do some defending.
They are, yeah, they definitely are. You know, we spoke about before, they had 4 strikers on the pitch. But what an advert for League 2 this has been.
Magnificent, isn't it? Foul on Kane Wilson. Gives a free kick to Forest Green in the centre circle. Sweeney gives the ball out to Kane Wilson on this near side of the right. Ball in field looking for Jamil Matt. He won't get there. Sheehan's back there thumping it clear for Newport County up to halfway. Godwin Malife gets the touch out to the left hand side. Cadden trying to take it away from Shepherd. Shepherd wins it back. Good ball from Labadie. Out to the right hand side. Lewis Collins looking forward for Nicky Maynard. Takes a touch off the knee of Godwin Malife. Cargill rides a couple of challenges. Good skill from Bailey Cargill, but then he loses out on halfway to Shepherd. Labadie is dispossessed by Adams. It's real harum-scarum stuff out there now, and then the ball deflects off the knees of Nicky Cadden and out of play for a throw, but no quarter being asked or given out there at the moment, Michael Kitely.
No, both teams are giving it their all, and so they should. Now, what a prize they've got at the end of it, and both teams are working really hard. It's great to see, as I said, what an advert for League 2, and this has been a great game for the neutral, it really has.
12 minutes to go. You're listening to TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL playoffs, and TalkSport 2 will bring you the League 2 final next Monday afternoon from Wembley Stadium. It's Morecambe against Newport at the moment. But if Forest Green manage to get another goal, then extra time beckons, and there are players now stripping down to their Forest Green shirts. Looks like it's a triple change being readied by Jimmy Ball. Big throw of the dice then from the interim manager at Forest Green Rovers. Meantime, Newport are offside as Lewis Collins is caught behind the last defender down the right hand side of the box. And we'll wait to see which of the young players Jimmy Ball is going to call upon.
You do feel that
Odin Bailey's definitely one of them. I can see that. I recognise Odin Bailey anyway, the Birmingham City loanee, of course, here at Forest Green.
I was just saying, you do feel that Forest Green have put the hard yards in the first 80 minutes and probably are a little bit tired, so freshening it up with 3 players is a great move, I think.
Now, Forest Green get the ball into the area left hand side. Collins lays it back for Cadden. The cross into the area is headed behind by Sheehan. Just goes over the roof of the North Stand. Corner kick to Forest Green as they prepare this triple change. Jaden Richardson, Odin Bailey and Jake Young, the Sheffield United youth player of old, just 19 years of age. He's going to be on as well, but they're going to save the changes until they've taken this corner kick from the left. Cadden to strike it up to the edge of the 6-yard box, out to the edge of the area. There's a foul on a Newport player, and it's going to be a free kick to the Exiles inside their own penalty area. And here comes that triple change then for Newport County. And the first player to go off is Kane Wilson. Richardson comes on to replace him. Richardson, who played in the first leg.
Second substitution for Forest Green Rovers.
On loan from Nottingham Forest. And Aaron Collins, who scored the second goal to bring the tie level on aggregate in the first half. And it's Jake Young, this 19-year-old, who's coming on to replace him. And the other change sees Nicky Cadden, who scored the free kick that we all thought was taking us Forest Green through to Wembley. He's off, and Odin Bailey is on to replace him. So it's kind of like for like throughout, really, with those changes, you would say, Michael Kitely?
Yeah, it doesn't look like there'll be a change of shape, but freshening things up for the last 10 minutes, bringing on some youth and really trying to get back into this game that they were controlling not long ago.
10 minutes to go. of the 90 here on TalkSport 2. At the moment, Newport County are heading to Wembley Stadium. They're 4-3 ahead on aggregate, but here come Forest Green Rovers. What an interception by Ricky Demetriou. Abu Adams threatened to run through the centre of midfield. It's worked back by Bernard to his keeper McGee. Good clearance downfield. Demetriou there again with a header, but the ball's lobbed downfield, headed out of play, right in front of our commentary position by Ryan Haynes. And Forest Green had themselves a throw-in about 10 yards inside the Newport half of the field. Bernard, intercepted by Kevin Ellison, but the ball goes out of play and sticks in the mud just over the touchline. Another throw to Forest Green. Richardson getting his first involvement, throws it back into his own half for Don Bernard. Ball's overhit. The intended pass was for Dan Sweeney, but Ryan Taylor loses out to Jordan Moore-Taylor. And now Moore-Taylor out to the left-hand side for Bailey Cargill. Looking to thread it down the left-hand side of the box for Jake Young. Sent back calmly to Tom King, the Newport keeper, by Liam Shepherd. Headed on to halfway. And there's a handball by Gobin Malife. Spotted by the referee. Newport have a free kick. 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes between Newport County and Wembley as things stand, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, it's a massive 8 minutes, isn't it, with extra time on the end of that as well. Both teams have given it all, and there are going to be some mistakes going on in the last 10 minutes, I can tell you. Newport were hoping for just one more chance.
It's a free kick meantime to Newport County that Josh Sheehan once again is standing over. It's bang on halfway to the right of centre. Still got all these strikers on that they sent on to try and rescue the tie. They've done more than rescue it. They're leading the tie now on aggregate by 4-3. But the free kick from Sheehan goes straight to Dan Sweeney and the Forest Green back line. Richardson now looks to slide it down the inside right channel. He was expecting somebody to make a run, maybe Jake Young, but nobody did. And it just dribbles over the dead ball line. And Tom King is doing that slow, quick, slow run to go and collect the ball and take his time over this Newport County goal kick. Michael Kitely.
Yeah, using his experience, isn't he? Jogging over to the ball, but he could actually walk faster than that. But noticing Kevin Ellison here, he's dropped back a little bit. We had 4 up front earlier on at Newport did, and now they've gone to the 2 up front, and he's just dropped a little bit deeper, helping out the midfield. And it was him that cleared the header just before the substitutions. He's been key in both boxes since he's been on.
7 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. Forest Green 3, Newport 2 is the scoreline here, but it's 4-3 on aggregate to Michael Flynn's Newport County. They got to the final 2 years ago. They're very close to heading back to Wembley again, but Forest Green have got time to get themselves level and force extra time. Throwing down their left-hand side, Bailey Cargill looks for Jamil Matt, trying to shield the ball away from 2 Newport defenders. It's somehow kept in play tight to that touchline, and then there's a foul on a Newport player as it's brought forward. And County will have themselves a free kick and a chance to get the ball down the other end of the pitch.
Just thinking there, who would be a manager, eh? The emotion.
Not you then, clearly by the sounds of it, you don't fancy a career in coaching.
The emotions of this game from both managers.
Yeah, they've both gone through the mill, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be sleeping tonight.
But Michael Flynn's got the edge at the moment. But there's still 6 minutes plus added time to go of the 90. Newport's free kick downfield goes out of play. It'll be a Newport throw. It came off a Forest Green player last of all. They've got the ball exactly where they want it to be, Newport County, away from their own half of the field.
I feel they've got back into this game by just making it a little bit more simple and just going back to front a little bit. It's a windy, wet night. They brought some players on. They brought Taylor on that can hold the ball up well for them. Obviously Ellison's come on, and they've just simplified it a little bit, and that's what was needed.
And they've won another throw on that far side of the field. It's just gone a bit quiet around us here at the new lawn. Forest Green fans just trying to come to terms with how things have suddenly turned on their head in this second half, when for a few short minutes it looked like they were going to get themselves off to Wembley with Nicky Cadden's free kick. Newport have now won a corner right by the Forest Green dressing rooms on the far side of the field here at the new lawn. And of course they're in no rush to take it. Newport takes a Forest Green player Bailey Cargill is going to spot the ball down in the quadrant on that far side. Less than 5 to play. And the referee telling Newport to get on with it. They're keeping the ball at the corner flag. And now they've worked it back cleverly to Josh Sheehan. Sheehan, tight to the touchline on the far side, heads for the corner flag once again. Can't keep it in play. Goal kick for Forest Green, and there's a sense of urgency as Luke McGee thinks about hitting it long downfield. He will. He's sending his centre-backs forward, and McGee's going to give it the hammer downfield with his right foot. Telling Godwin Malife, go on, get up there. Hits it right-footed downfield. Misses out Sweeney. Drops left-hand side for Bailey. For Forest Green. Down the left-hand side. Ball into the area. Nats! He's done it! He's brought them level! Jamil Nats makes it level on aggregate once again. And Jamil Nats, against his old club, looks to force extra time at the new lawn. They've done it with less than 5 minutes to play. It's now 4-2 to Forest Green. How can you not love the playoff?
You just couldn't write it, could you? And it came from, again, a long ball down the field. Flick on, out to the substitution. Bailey works his magic, great ball in, left-footed. And what a finish from Matt. Doesn't celebrate, stands there proud. Game on again, looks like it could be going into extra time.
That's exactly where we're headed. Again. Because we've been here before. When we had those 2 goals in the first 8 minutes. That had us levels your devils. Now, we haven't restarted incidentally because I think it's Abu Adams who's got a bit of cramp or a shin problem. Just been helped to his feet by the Forest Green physios.
What a finish it was, though, by the way. Just gets his body in the way of the defender and sort of flicks it with his outside of his boot into the bottom corner. It was a great finish. He scored a lot of goals this season, Matt, and they've really missed him. And he's played tonight and he's done very, very well. From the first minute, he's been a handful.
We've gone that berserk here at the new lawn. The digital scoreboard's broke. It should be showing Forest Green 4, Newport 2.
I don't think they've seen them numbers go up that high, have they? In a game.
Steady. You don't want any hate mail.
I'm not on Twitter, thankfully.
And I can tell why. Michael Kitey alongside me, Ian Danter. We are heading for extra time in the League 2 playoff semi-final second leg. I think it's fair to say with this tie, this semi-final, we have saved the best for last.
Without a doubt. And it's one of those nights where you're thinking, I hope it don't go into extra time because it's so cold. But what a game. You'd like to see another half an hour of this.
I'm not feeling the cold now.
No, me neither.
So we still have time left, a couple of minutes left to play, plus added time. And Newport County have been stung by that Jamil Matt finish against his old club as well. It just had to be, didn't it? Kevin Ellison heads the ball down in the centre circle. Jordan Moore-Taylor wins it back for Forest Green. They fancy trying to win it. He's tried to send the ball forward for Jamil Matt, but again, Anvil in his boot, this time from Jordan Moore-Taylor. And it went way, way over the dead ball line for a goal kick to Newport County.
I'd like to have seen him get it out to Bailey.
Well, it was Bailey's cross, of course.
Yeah, he was on there and he should have played it out to him. He's not had much of the ball, but when he has had it, he's looked lively. It was a great assist from him.
We're about to find out how much added time we have here after the second half of the new lawn. 6 minutes. We're into 6 minutes of added time.
6 minutes of time.
We're level on aggregate, so a goal now for either side surely means Wembley. Otherwise, we've got an extra 30 minutes plus the possibility of penalty kicks to decide who advances.
You just got that feeling that it's going to get decided on penalty kicks, don't you? You really do.
That's a brave call, Michael Kitey, when there's still 5.5 minutes of the 90 to play and a potential extra half hour. Now here's Abu Adams trying to get down the right hand side of the box, but Farquharson just defends the ball out of play for a goal kick. Well, you've chosen your playoff semi-final wisely, haven't you, Michael?
I have, yeah.
Hadn't picked it.
Couldn't have asked for a better game, I really couldn't.
After all the drama of yesterday, particularly at the Brentford Community Stadium, with the red cards and the penalties and Marcus Force firing Brentford to Wembley, and then Sunderland looking like they were going to come back against Lincoln only for them to come a cropper courtesy of Tom Hopper. Now today we've had this incredible seesaw tie, and Morecambe still don't know who their opponents are going to be a week tomorrow.
Reminder to whatever happens in the next 5 minutes, please stay where you are.
Reminder to the supporters about the importance of social distancing and not going onto the pitch. So we're a minute and a half into the 6 that have been added on. It's 4-2 to Forest Green Rovers. What have either side got left in stoppage time? Newport in possession inside the Forest Green half with Josh Sheehan. Ryan Haynes out on the left-hand side, plays a good 1-2 with Ellison. He's into the box. Ryan Haynes tries to play the ball across. Jordan Moore-Taylor and Adams between them just thump it clear. Sheehan had gone down feeling he was fouled for a free kick. Instead it's a Newport throw.
Yeah, good advantage from the referee. Haynes was in a good position to put a cross in, but good defending for Forest Green. Adams has been absolutely everywhere tonight for Forest Green.
Here's the throw from Dimitriou. Just misses out of play. Might drop for Nicky Maynard. No, it's volleyed clear by Cargill. And then Jamil Matt wins a header on halfway, but it skims off the top of his head and goes through to King. 4 minutes of added time left. 4-2 to Forest Green. 4-4 on aggregate. Extra time looming in Gloucestershire. And an offside flag goes up against a Newport player. I think it was Kevin Ellison that was coming back from an offside position. Gives Forest Green a free kick inside their own half.
Both teams look down and out, don't they? They really do on their feet. Tough conditions all night.
Yeah, it's really heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, heavy pitch. They put everything into it.
Don't fancy going out there and playing again, Michael?
No, I'm not sure I can
keep up with these boys. They say you're a long time retired.
Yeah, they do, yeah. There's a reason why I'm sitting here and I'm not on there.
Free kick to Forest Green Rovers. Still time for a winner. 3 minutes of added time have gone. 3 more at least to play. On TalkSport 2, you're home with the EFL playoffs. And I do hope you're enjoying this wherever you're listening to TalkSport 2 as much as Michael Kirtley and myself, Ian Dancer, are enjoying bringing this game to you. It's had the lot. It's had the kitchen sink and then some. And we may well be set for another 30 minutes of it. So stay with us right through to the conclusion. Goal kick from Tom King for Newport. Breaks on halfway for Liam Shepherd, trying to release County down the right-hand side with Lewis Collins, but Godwin Malife, good defending, plays it up to Odin Bailey inside his own half, trying to play it infield for Jordan Moore-Taylor. In steps Cargill. Now Jake Young's getting chased. He's up there against Farquharson. Oh, brilliant sliding challenge from Farquharson, but it is a corner kick to Forest Green. It looked like he was running in treacle for a minute.
There was a fresh legs of Young, wasn't he? He looked quick down the left there.
But a good challenge from Farquharson, just slid in, used the surface to his advantage and got it out of play. But it is a corner kick to Forest Green Rovers with 2 minutes of the added time remaining. 1 goal sends either team through to Wembley Stadium, and it's Forest Green's corner.
They've looked to fret all night from set pieces as well.
It's Odin Bailey with it, a left-footed outswinger to come for the Forest Green substitute. High, looping centre. Jamil Matt heads it down and it bounces and goes over the bar. And it'll be just a goal kick. Hearts in mouths for those of a Newport persuasion then. But it's a goal kick to the Exiles in the end.
As we said, they looked to fret. He got on the end of that, Matt. Just stretching a little bit.
You haven't stopped shaking your head for the last 15 minutes.
But looking left and right.
Yeah, you just can't believe what you're witnessing.
It's literally been like a basketball game, hasn't it?
It's been brilliant entertainment.
Great game to watch.
A minute of added time to go. Newport hit a long goal kick downfield, but it's one back for Forest Green. Jaden Richardson, full of running, gets past Kevin Ellison, looking to take on Ryan Haynes, tries to go around him, but Haynes is protecting the ball well, and it does go out for a goal kick. Well done by Ryan Haynes in the end, because the freshness of the substitute Jaden Richardson was going to test him there.
It did test him, and as you said, he defended really well there. The 94th minute, is it?
Well, we've got 30 seconds of the 6 that have been added on left, and then it's down to Martin Coy whether he wants to add any more on. Ball's headed down in the Forest Green half. Bernard clips it over halfway. Jamil Matt holds the ball up well. Jake Young calling for it right-hand side, but he tries to play it through the centre. Jamil Matt for Ibu Adams, but it's won back by Newport County. Now Forest Green have it again. Sheehan picks it up. Long ball over the top, trying to release Nicky Maynard. There's a slip by Godwin Malife. Will allow Maynard to pick it up on the right-hand touchline. Ryan Taylor's the only Newport player in the box at the moment. It's played back to Farquharson pushing forward, up to the edge of the box, and there goes the full-time whistle, and we have extra time to come at the new lawn after the most thrilling 90 minutes. Remember, Forest Green were 2-0 up inside 8 minutes through goals from Ibu Adams and Aaron Collins, but then Nicky Cadden put them 3-0 up and ahead and heading for Wembley with a free kick that went through everybody on 53 minutes. That was 3-0 to Forest Green, but then back came Newport County. Substitutes, Kevin Ellison, 42 years of age, with a pot shot from 25 yards out, went under the crossbar and in, and that got Newport back in the tie, level, and then Josh Labadie put them ahead on 76 minutes from a lovely cross from the left from Haynes, but then back came Forest Green, and Jamil Matt against his old club, 3 minutes from the end of the 90, steered home Odin Bailey's left wing cross, and that, Dan Windle, brings us an extra half hour at least. Full-time score, Forest Green 4, Newport 2, 4-4 in aggregate. Thank you, Dan. Well, they've got the scoreboard working again. That's the one thing that's happened whilst we've been waiting for the turnaround, that proudly says FGR 4, Newport County 2. One of the scorelines that would have brought us extra time. I wasn't expecting a 4-2 scoreline after 90 minutes, though, Michael Kirtley, I have to say, as I was driving here this afternoon.
No, not at all.
So, stand by. As they used to say on Stingray, anything can happen in the next half hour. Forest Green get us back underway, wearing their green and black fluorescent shirts, shorts and socks. Newport County in the black and amber shirts with the black shorts, black socks. Newport County kicking towards the north stand away to our right in this first period of extra time. I'll give you the lineups. I could give you a formation, but basically everybody's piling forward. For Forest Green, it's McGee in goal. You've got Bernard, Malife, Sweeney and Cargill, Richardson, Adams, Moore, Taylor and Bailey, Young and Matt up front. And for Newport, where you got King in goal, then you got Shepherd, Farquharson and Demetriou, Ellison, Labadie, Sheehan, Haynes, Collins, Taylor and Maynard. I think I got that right. I've got so many scribbles on my notepad, it's ridiculous.
There's been a few formations tonight, hasn't there?
A few dozen formations, you might say. Ball's rolled back to the Forest Green goalkeeper away to our right, Luke McGee, and his clearance just catches that stiff breeze again. Flicked on by Nicky Maynard. Ryan Taylor's trying to run through on it, but it'll just roll through to the Forest Green keeper once again. The rain isn't as intense as it was about an hour ago, but it's still pretty steady here, I must say, Michael Kirtley.
Yeah, it seems to have cleared up a little bit.
But the surface water, as Dan Windle mentioned, is rightly there. You can see it every time the players run. You can see the puddles that are being splashed up by the boots. Now on the left-hand side, Jake Young, who's clearly quick and had the beating of Farquharson a couple of times down the Forest Green left. He's won a throw for Forest Green. Cleared away only temporarily by Josh Sheehan. Adams up to the edge of the area. Jaden Richardson looks for Jamil Matt with his back to goal. Tries to set Bailey inside the area. Bailey runs into Farquharson, who puts his huge frame between Bailey and the goal and blocks it away. And Newport clear it downfield. And it's just a Forest Green throw in the end. Who's your money on, by the way? Would you dare stick 50 pence each way down on this one? Well, you can't.
I'm going to go for Forest Green.
Okay.
But it's a tough one, isn't it? It really is. But the fitness of these two teams is remarkable. It really is. From minute one, they've been both bang at it.
2 minutes of the first period of extra time already gone. Forest Green 4-4 in aggregate with Newport County. And the 1,200 fans back inside the new lawn for the first time in well over a year. Whatever the scoreline ends up being, they have been richly entertained this evening.
They have. What a game to watch.
Bailey Cargill pushes infield for Forest Green, up to the edge of the area. Tries to beat a deflection and a ricochet, but it's brought away by Kevin Ellison. Ellison, ball over the top for Ryan Taylor. Ryan Taylor's in behind for a moment. The angle's tight as he gets into the right-hand side of the box. Held up by Godwin Malife. Tries to send it back for Lewis Collins, but there's Dan Sweeney charging back for Forest Green to win it back for the home side. And then Jake Young loses out to Josh Labadie, who thought he'd sent Newport through to Wembley in normal time. Lewis Collins plays the ball in field to Labadie once again at the edge of the box, but Jordan Moore-Taylor gets a foot in, and it's driven downfield by Jake Young, but it won't find its way through to Jamil Matt. Instead, it's Newport that have it back again. We're back to the basketball game once again, Michael Kitely.
We are. Sometimes in the extra time you see teams sitting off.
Haynes with a cross from the left-hand side. Header down by Maynard. He's put it just wide. Big chance for Nicky Maynard. Unmarked. 8 yards out. Another lovely cross from Ryan Haynes from the left. Maynard, just a free header in front of goal. Central, 8 yards out. Planted it wide. 4-2 it stays to Forest Green.
Has to score. It's in the middle of the goal, as you said, 6-7 yards out. No one around him. Clear header, heads it wide, and you'd bank on him, wouldn't you? You really would. If anyone was going to score, you'd say Maynard with his experience. He's scored goals over the years, and he's really missed a sitter there.
Your expression then, I could have dropped a snooker ball in your mouth at that point. Your mouth was hanging completely wide open at that miss from Nicky Maynard. At the other end, Newport keeper Tom King volleys the ball downfield. Ryan Taylor once again giving chase gamely for Newport as it heads towards the corner flag at the north stand end of the field. It's hit the corner flag and stayed in play, and that allows Godwin Malife and Cargill between them to win a throw for Forest Green by that corner flag on the left-hand side.
And I was just saying before that chance, sometimes in extra time you get teams that both sit back and they sort of don't want to lose the game, and they sort of play out the extra time and it goes to penalties. Both of these teams are going for it.
Throw in for Forest Green. Ian Danter and Michael Kitely with you on TalkSport 2. This final playoff semi-final tie of the 12 that we brought you. Nobody else has done that anywhere else on your wireless, and nobody else will bring you all three finals from Wembley across the weekend. Swansea, Brentford on Saturday. Then of course on Sunday, Lincoln City against Blackpool, and on Monday Morecambe against ... Either of these two, who cannot be separated with 5 minutes gone in extra time. Still 4-4 on aggregate. Demetriou for Newport County. Good strong run up to the halfway line. Finds Josh Sheehan out on the left-hand side, who spins in field. Tries to scheme a little ball up to the edge of the area. Picked up by Collins! Oh, he's hit it straight to the keeper. The ball went over the head of Ryan Taylor. Collins in behind. Got the shot away, but he hit it straight at Luke McGee. Easy save for the Forest Green keeper.
What a ball from Josh Sheehan. I've said before, for me he's the best player on the pitch. Picks out a great ball. Well, he should score really. Collins, he just doesn't get anything on it really. Another good chance for Newport.
Oh, overhit crossfield ball by Dan Sweeney, intended for Bailey Cargill. Just goes out of play for a Newport throw, and it's Nicky Maynard who wants to take it quickly. He's found Liam Shepherd right in front of our commentary position here in the West Stand at the New Lawn. A few executive boxes behind us. I'm sure Dale Vince isn't too far from where we're sat, the owner of Forest Green Rovers. Desperate to see his side to Wembley for a playoff final. But here come Newport County. Ryan Haynes, lovely ball in from the left. Sweeney heads it clear to the edge of the box. Liam Shepherd picks it up for Newport, tries an effort, and it hits the advertising hoarding above the goal, away to our right hand side, and it's a goal kick and will allow a Forest Green change to be made. I think that's Josh Davidson who's coming on. Indeed it is. Came on as a sub in the first leg. And he's coming on for Jamil Matt, the man whose late goal forced extra time against his old club. So Davidson on to replace him. And when we thought, before even the first tie, Michael Kitely, that Jamil Matt wasn't going to be involved, he's put quite a shift in today.
He really has, and he's been the difference. Not just him, but he's been a massive part of why they've got back into this game. From minute one, he's been a handful, and gets his goal as well, which was a great finish, and fully deserves that round of applause that he got going off there.
It's a very young front two that Forest Green have now, with Josh Davison at 21 and Jake Young at just 19 years of age. But of course, Odin Bailey, 21 years of age, out on the left-hand side. Collins, meantime, plays the ball infield. One back by Ibu Adams. Oh, lovely turn by Odin Bailey. Absolutely did Liam Shepherd. Tried to thread the ball through for Davison, but Farquharson put the ball out. That was quite-yes, that skill on display from Odin Bailey.
It was a bit better than me, what skill that was. And he's shown his quality, hasn't he, for the goal that he set up in a normal play, and that's a great bit of skill there from Bailey. He's come on and made a real difference here.
So it's a throw into Forest Green, almost at the midway point of the Newport County half of the field. 8 minutes gone in this first period of extra time. On TalkSport 2 in the EFL playoffs, still no nearer knowing who Morecambe's opponents will be at Wembley a week tomorrow. Newport County were 2-0 down and then 3-0 down. Got it back to 3-2, a scoreline that would have seen them through. But for Jamil Matt's fourth goal for Forest Green on the night, 3 minutes before full time. Now ball downfield finds Ryan Taylor for Newport. Shovels the ball out to Lewis Collins on the right. Looking to take on Cargill, but Cargill puts his frame in between Lewis Collins and the ball and then hits it against Lewis Collins right on the dead ball line and wins a goal kick for Forest Green Rovers. Over the midway point into this first period of extra time, and was still at 4-4 on aggregate.
I tell you what, Morecambe, what they will know they're banging for a game, whoever they play, whether it's Newport or Forest Green, they're in for a big game against either side, and they'll be watching this game and knowing that next Monday they're going to have to be right at their best to get a win.
Well, Morecambe have been really tough opponents this season under Derek Adams. Aaron Wildig's early goal helped Morecambe on their way. Tranmere did equalise and were pushing late on, but Morecambe have won through to their first ever playoff final, I believe, Morecambe. And you thought they did amazing work under Jim Bentley when he was manager at Morecambe, but Derek Adams gone above and beyond by comparison. But who will face the Shrimps? It's a free kick to Newport County. We've got 5 minutes of the first period of extra time to go, and Newport have a free kick in their right back position. The goalkeeper Tom King has come out to take in his all dark purple goalkeeping strip. Ball down to the edge of the area. Sweeney under a bit of pressure heads it clear. Odin Bailey helped out by Cargill, volleys the ball up to halfway. Well controlled by Ryan Haynes. That's beautifully controlled by the fullback for Newport County. Now he's drifting out to the left hand side, stops his run, moves it infield to the dangerous Josh Sheehan. Sheehan 30 yards out, spots Shepherd right hand corner of the box, feeds it to Liam Shepherd. Shepherd gets into the box at the right hand corner, then lays it off for Josh Labadie. Labadie forced back by Jake Young. Now it's Sheehan again on this near touchline for Newport County. Flicks the ball down the right hand side for Shepherd. Shepherd trying to get in behind Bailey, and Bailey Cargill helps out Odin Bailey, and Lewis Collins tried to get to the dead ball line but stubbed his toe in the turf rather than getting the cross in. Goal kick to Forest Green. Well, that's confusing for me. And now on the left hand side you've got Bailey Cargill and Odin Bailey. Cheers, thanks for that, Jimmy Ball. We had two Collins out on the pitch at the start of the game, just tormenting me here.
I'll leave that one to you.
Thanks. Michael Kitely letting me, Ian Danter, do all the heavy lifting here on TalkSport 2. We're not even at half time yet in extra time. Still the rain falls persistently here at the new lawn, creating these little puddles on the pitch here and there. The ball's still running true for the most part, but you just wonder whether it's going to hold up at a crucial place, at a crucial point, to benefit or not benefit somebody. Going for Newport County, headed away by Bailey Cargill to halfway. In steps Ibu Adams to keep the ball away from Sheehan, but it is a throw to Newport, right in front of our commentary position. Liam Shepherd to take it. Looks for Ryan Taylor. Shepherd again down the right hand side. Cargill volleys clear, only as far as Sheehan. Now Godwin Malife finds Jordan Moore Taylor up to the halfway line. Josh Davison making the run in the inside right channel. Good header clear. Sheehan will pick up the second ball. He had to for Newport because there were plenty forward in those Forest Green shirts. Now Jordan Moore Taylor just turns away from Labadie. Ellison trying to close him down. Jake Young plays the ball out left to Odin Bailey. Down the left-hand side, Bailey looking to take on Shepherd. Checks his run at the dead ball line. Works it back to Jordan Moore-Taylor. Loops the ball into the box, and it's a comfortable claim under no real pressure for the Newport keeper, Tom King. 4-2 Forest Green. 4-4 in aggregate, nearly at half-time and extra time.
He just wished that he'd had a little bit more power in his cross there. He sort of just tried to be a bit safe with his cross, straight into the arms of the keeper. And here come Newport again.
Liam Shepherd for the Exiles, down the right-hand side. Faced up by Jordan Moore-Taylor. Flicks it infield for Sheehan. Plays it into the centre of the half for Mickey Dimitriou. Dimitriou tries a shot. Comes through to Maynard. Maynard trying to make room for a shot. Gets it onto his left and curls it wide. Well, what happened was Dimitriou's shot hit Mickey Maynard inadvertently inside the box and almost presented Maynard with a shooting chance himself, but it goes over. Goal kick, 4-2.
A great first touch from Maynard, but it just couldn't get it out of his feet with his second touch. And to be fair to Sweeney, got in his face quickly and stopped him from having a clear shot at goal, and ends up skying it over the bar.
Goal kick then to Forest Green Rovers. Will shortly be at half-time in extra time on Talk Sport 2. It's McGee's goal kick for Forest Green. They're going to put a green head on it. Josh Davison rises with Parkinson. Good header clear at the back for Newport. Sweeney gets his head to it. Ellison fires the ball forward for Newport. Sweeney gets there in the nick of time as it looked like Maynard might steal the ball off him. Drops on halfway, brilliantly brought down out the sky by Josh Sheehan. Bursting out to the right-hand side. The near side to us, plays it infield, but Cargill will get it clear. Davidson can't get the ball past Liam Shepherd. Picked up by Boo Adams. Good ball from Adams, and now Shepherd's away. Davidson's away rather. Down the left-hand side for Forest Green. Just to roll it across to Jake Young, but it's intercepted by Dimitriou, who brings it away. Gets to the halfway line. Cargill fights for possession and wins it back. Bailey for Forest Green as we are now in stoppage time at the first period of extra time. Referee looks at his watch. Bailey down the left-hand side, tries to play a 1-2 with Davison. Can he keep it in play? Bailey, no he can't. And there goes half-time in extra time. No further scoring, so we still are no closer down Windle to knowing who plays Morecambe. It's still Forest Green 4, Newport 2 on the night, 4-4 in aggregate. So Newport will get us back underway for the second half of extra time in their black and amber shirts, black shorts, black socks. They'll be heading for the sound stand away to our left. Forest Green in the lurid green. And once again the PA system crackles into life. The 1200 at least inside the new lawn for one last big effort to help the Green Army. We're underway then.
They've helped them loads, haven't they?
They have.
They really have, the fans. They've been on with them since the first minute, right behind them.
And that's the case for all 12 sets of supporters in all 12 semi-final legs. They've all been absolutely superb in terms of the partisan backing they've given to their teams. Some haven't seen them win, but all of them have given their team every single bit of encouragement that they need.
But I think the fact that they've just had a go tonight, Forest Green, you felt in the first leg that they just didn't turn up, did they? And that's the disappointing thing as a fan, even as a player.
How many times have you been told as a player, don't leave anything out there?
Exactly, and they haven't tonight. Whatever happens, I'm sure the fans will be proud of them.
So in the first minute of the second period of extra time, with Forest Green heading to the north stand end away to our right again in this final period of football. Penalties are on the cards unless somebody can find the net in the next 14 minutes or so. Here comes Cargill for Forest Green, charging through the inside left channel, but well won back by Shepherd, who's fouled. Newport have a free kick midway point of their own half. They still have all those attacking players, of course, Newport County, with Ellison, Maynard, Taylor and Collins all up front. And it's Ryan Taylor bringing the ball out of the sky for this Newport free kick, but he fouled Boo Adams because the ball came off his shin, had a bit of a trampette at his shin, and as Boo Adams took it off him, he just clipped the heels of the Forest Green number 8 free kick.
And you mentioned there Newport having the forwards that they've got on the pitch, and you'd think if it does go to penalties, that would probably make them favourites. They've got more players in their team that are likely to score penalties.
Well, they beat Mansfield on penalties to get through to the final 2 years ago, but Tranmere Rovers ended up beating them a goal a minute from the end of extra time at Wembley, which condemned Newport to another season in League 2. And of course it's their 8th successive season in League 2. And when you consider how much in danger they were when Michael Flynn took over, they were very close to dropping out of the league altogether, weren't they, Michael Kiteley?
They were. He's done brilliant since he's come in.
Now here's Maynard chasing down a ball down the right hand side of the area, but Udoka Godwin-Malife got there first and he's fouled. Maynard had a little nibble at him as he tried to get the ball away from the left hand side, so it's a free kick. Still lots of players out there full of running, Michael Kiteley, and just over 10 minutes of extra time to play.
There is, and I said this before, that the fitness of both of these sides has been unbelievable.
Do the conditions help in terms of cramp? Like you normally see when it's a bright sunny day, you know, and it's energy sapping, you know, you get more players wanting crap, but when it's wet and windy and miserable like it is here tonight,
yeah, maybe, but the pitch looks heavy.
Yeah.
It's been heavy from the first minute, really. And both teams look remarkably fit.
Headed away by Nicky Dimitri at the back for Newport County. Volleyed downfield by Ryan Haynes. Maynard trying to make the most of it. He's won it well for Newport County down the left-hand side. He tried to backheel it infield for Ellison, but it's won back by Godwin-Malife. Long ball downfield trying to release Jake Young, but Nicky Dimitri just says calm down to his keeper Tom King as he collects it and bowls it out over arm. Just over 11 minutes of extra time to play on TalkSport 2. Ryan Taylor, well, the offence has been given against Ryan Taylor, but it looked to me like Udoka Godwin-Malife had a huge chunk of Ryan Taylor's shirt up for that 50-50 ball, but it's a Forest Green free kick in the end, Michael Kiteley.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. It's one of those where the defender gets the benefit of the doubt, which is always annoying from a forward player.
I've dredged up some horrible thoughts from the past there.
I will say, since Jamel Matt's gone off, Forest Green don't look as much of a threat as what they did when he was on the pitch.
Well, two young strikers on there, as I mentioned, you know, one 21-year-old, one 19-year-old, just coming into the game. You look at the other end, Maynard, Taylor and Ellison, got to be 100 years of experience between them. Here is Nicky Maynard, who should have scored in the first half of extra time. Trying to hustle his way through to the edge of the area. Godwin-Malife is fouled by Maynard, and Forest Green have another free kick just as Newport were threatening to break through the lines.
Yeah, it's a good free kick to have for Forest Green, because they are under the cosh a little bit. Maynard's looking sharp. It's a sloppy foul to give away when his team are so much on top. It looks like there's the first bit of cramp.
Yes, Godwin-Malife, who was fouled there, he was just pulling his right big toe back from his boot just to stretch that muscle. He's being told by the referee, go on, get back to your feet, you're all right.
Yeah, referee doesn't seem to be wanting to give him a bit of a rest.
Lots of sympathy there from Martin Coy, our man in the middle.
He's refed it well, to be fair, the ref tonight. You know, these big games, sometimes refs can get a little bit blinded by him.
Yeah, well, he's never refed either of these two teams before. I think both managers, at least potentially, will say that he's ref the game sensibly, but you know what, I say that so many, the amount of times I've come away from a game with Perry Groves this season doing our Saturday afternoon championship games, and we've gone, the referee had a decent game today. You get home and you look online and the referee's getting absolute pelters from both managers.
That's why you don't look online.
It's a lesson for us all there.
Do you know what, I'm the first to have a go at refs, but I think he's refed it well tonight in tough conditions, and when things have got heated, times it's got heated, he's dealt with it really well.
Newport County in possession, and they win a free kick as Labadie was brought down by Adams. So this free kick not quite at the midway point of the Forest Green half, but it's definitely a chance for Josh Sheehan to put another ball into the danger area and see what Newport are made of going forward here.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. I feel it suits a left footer.
Well, Haynes is there too.
Yeah, he's just gone over. It might be him that takes it, and in-swinger suits it for me.
Forest Green holding their line at the edge of their 18-yard box, maybe dropping a yard or so deeper than that at the south stand end away to our left. Rain continuing to fall here at the New Lawn Stadium. Haynes has now moved away, and it will be Josh Sheehan with this free kick for Newport County into the area, headed up in the air by Labadie, drops at the far post. Two Forest Green players got in a right old mix-up, and it needed a volley clear downfield. I think it was Adams and Richardson who got a bit of a quandary between them, and in the end it's back with Tom King, the Newport keeper. 4-2 to Forest Green, 8 minutes of extra time to play. Long ball downfield from Tom King. Strongly headed clear by Adams. Jake Young picks it up, good spin on halfway, but runs into trouble. Richardson lets the ball go out of play though for a Forest Green throw-in inside their own half. Don Bernard's going to take it. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, just slowing it down a little bit, Forest Green, aren't they? A couple of players are stretching. They look tired, put a lot into this game.
It's Adams now that's moving a little awkwardly. Abu Adams. Seems like an eternity since he headed Forest Green in front.
Was that not yesterday?
Feels like it. Sent out left by Adams. It's made its way through to Bailey. His cross from that side of the field led to Jamil Matt's goal that levelled it on aggregate. He's scheming down the left-hand side again, Bailey. The cross makes its way to the box, just gets away from Jake Young. Whacked away from danger by Josh Labadie. Up to Ryan Taylor on halfway. Bernard wins the 50-50 with Kevin Ellison. Jordan Moore-Taylor moves forward now for Forest Green. Richardson wants it on the overlap. He's played in to the dead ball line. Tries to square it across. Brilliant clearance from Mickey Demetriou to get it away for Newport County. But it's not completely clear. Bernard allows the ball to run through to Adams. Adams ball into the box. Again, brilliant header clear from Demetriou. But Bernard picks up the loose ball. Tries to drive it. Hits his opposite number, Ryan Haynes, and ricochets out for a throw to Forest Green on this near side.
What a game this is. Forest Green going for it here. Fair play to them.
Does it make you want to get your boots on?
No.
Okay.
It's making me think I'm definitely better retired.
It's going to
the effort that both teams have put in.
Well, the Forest Green towel has been given to Bailey Cargill so he can dry the ball before he launches a long throw into the Newport County penalty area. Just over 5 minutes of extra time to go. 4-4 in aggregate. Cargill with a Forest Green throw into the near post. Davison heads it up in the air, but it's a comfortable claim at the near post for the Newport keeper Tom King. And he bowls it out underarm to Liam Shepherd, who's got some space to run into. Just hits a long ball downfield, looking for Lewis Collins, but Godwin Malife will just watch that behind for a goal kick to Forest Green. More seconds tick away on TalkSport 2. Penalties loom larger.
They do. You just had that feeling, didn't you, sort of midway through the second half, that this could go to penalties, and no team deserves to lose this game. They really don't, and it'd be a shame to lose it on penalties, but it'd be great to watch from a neutral point of view.
Well, Newport have played in the third tier before. In fact, their best ever finish was they finished fourth in the old third division back in 1983. Of course, Newport County disappeared from view as a football club around the turn of the 1990s. Newport were without a football club for some considerable time, but they reformed and moved back up the leagues and are now trying to get back into the third tier of English football. But they've got some defending to do here as they hurriedly clear the ball out of play for a Forest Green throw. 5 minutes of extra time to play on TalkSport 2. It's Forest Green 4, Newport 2 on the night. 4-4 on aggregate. Michael Kirtley and Ian Dancer with you, bringing you these closing stages. Josh Davison down the left-hand side of the box, wins a corner for Forest Green off Demetriou, who complains to the referee, but he points for the corner kick at the north stand end to the home side. Odin Bailey's going across to take it, be a left-footed outswinger from the young man on loan from Birmingham City. Richardson is just holding at the edge of the area. Cargill and Davison and Sweeney and Moore-Taylor all bunched together at the edge of the box. Matt runs in. Davison tries to go with the header. Cargill tries to get a shot goalwards. It's blocked away by Newport. They get it clear. The last man back is Godwin Malife. plays the ball out to this near side, the right, and Jordan Moore-Taylor. Taylor plays a neat ball infield to Ibu Adams. Adams just lofts the ball into the area. Davison tries to get the header on it. Anywhere will do from Josh Sheehan. Just finds Bernard instead. Out to Bailey on the left-hand side for Forest Green. Cuts in field. Little back heel to get Jay Young away down the left-hand side of the box. Checks onto his right. Ships the ball to the far post. Just gets away from Sweeney. Richardson back across the face and goal! And Davison toe pokes it wide. Josh Davison could have won it for Forest Green there, but he just didn't have enough to toe poke it goalwards. And it's a goal kick to Newport County in the end.
Literally a bigger shoe size and he scores. Richardson just slashes it across the goal. It's a bit of hit and hope, to be honest, and as I said, if he had a bigger shoe size he scores. It just goes wide, but Forest Green have been...
I think a pair of socks might have done him.
Yeah, it's been all Forest Green, hasn't it? Trying to win this game before it goes to penalties.
And that's where we're headed on TalkSport 2, but there's 3 minutes of extra time to play. Newport coming forward now. Josh Sheehan, ball to the right is intercepted by Cargill. Moving at pace down the left-hand side. He was caught, but the referee's allowing play to continue because Davison has backheeled it again for Cargill. Cargill's ball in. Jay Young with a drive. Brilliantly blocked on its way to goal by Demetriou. And Newport clear their lines. Again, Forest Green go close, Michael Kitely.
Yeah, it was more or less the same opportunity that Matt had in normal time. Managed to get across his front.
Now Nicky Maynard's in behind. Nicky Maynard takes it past the keeper. He's put it in. Nicky Maynard looks to have won it, but Newport County right at the death. Newport staff on the pitch, joyous, and just a long ball forward. Saw Nicky Maynard get in behind the Forest Green back line, around Luke McGee, and took the ball into the bottom corner. And with 2 minutes of extra time to go, is that finally the goal that sees Newport County back at Wembley? It's now Forest Green 4, Newport 3, 5-4 on aggregate to the Exiles.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Forest Green have a great chance to score themselves, and Newport go up the other end, and Maynard gets in behind, flicks it over the keeper's head and taps it into an empty net. Unbelievable scenes here. And it's the experience, isn't it, for Newport, as we spoke about, Ellison coming on, Labadie coming on, scoring, and now Maynard scoring, and it looks like he's sent his team through to the final at Wembley.
Nearly almost 10 years since Nicky Maynard was part of the West Ham squad that won promotion from the Championship in 2012. He's on loan at Newport from Mansfield, the team Newport beat in the playoff semi-finals 2 years ago. Wagstaff ready to come on for one last throw of the dice for Forest Green. It's now 4-3, remember, 5-4 to Newport on aggregate. Into the last minute of extra time, plus whatever Martin Coy wants to add on. We're into 2 extra minutes. And here's Nicky Maynard again, inside the area, left-hand side, faced up by Richardson. Gives it back to Ryan Haynes at the edge of the area. Haynes trying to go all the way through. Maynard again, it's the post with a right-footed curler that beat the goalkeeper, but stays out. And Odin Bailey keeps it in play on the left-hand side, and Forest Green want to get it downfield. Up it goes to halfway. Davison, who had that chance not 2 minutes ago to win the tie for Forest Green, can't hold it up on halfway, and Newport have a throw, and here comes the change for Forest Green as off goes Bernard, and on comes Scott Wagstaff.
I've never seen a game like this in my life. I really haven't. You thought Forest Green would go on to win this, the chances that they've had in the last 5-10 minutes, and Newport all of a sudden just come alive. Maynard again there hits the bar with a really good strike.
So Wagstaff is on. So we've played the 30 minutes of added time. We're into stoppage time and extra time. Newport are suddenly on the brink of Wembley once again. Nicky Maynard, who missed that gilt-edged chance in the first half of extra time, got his lines right in the second half. What have Forest Green got left in these last few seconds? Ibu Adams
sends the ball forward, right-footed, downfield, plenty forward in green, flicks it into the area, might stay in play. Oh, good goalkeeping, Tom King, out to the right-hand side of his 6-yard box with 3 Forest Green players converging on him. He just grabbed hold of the ball and Newport can clear downfield.
Take a breath.
All the players trying to take a breath. Everyone around us trying to catch their breath. Clear downfield by King. The referee blows the full-time whistle and Newport County somehow have found their way back to Wembley Stadium 2 years after their defeat to Tranmere. They're off there again, this time to play Morecambe, but after the most incredible 120 minutes at the new lawn, a game in which Forest Green contributed so much. They were 2-0 up, indeed 3-0 up Forest Green through goals from Adams, Aaron Collins and Cadden. But back came Newport County. Kevin Ellison and Josh Labadie scored 2 and it looked like Newport were going to go through in normal time. And then, right on full time, Jamil Matt against his old club restored a level aggregate scoreline. We went into extra time, and after Nicky Maynard had missed a glaring header in the first half of extra time, he latched onto a ball over the top, lobbed it over the keeper, ran round him, stroked it into the empty net, and Newport County are off to Wembley. And some of the Forest Green players, particularly Scott Wagstaff, just needed to be held back by the referee and some of the officials, because there's a bit of unseemly reaction from some of the Forest Green players to this full-time scoreline. Some of the staff are out there just calming things down, but the upshot of it all is that Newport County are off to Wembley Stadium 2 years after their last visit. They will take on Morecambe live on TalkSport 2 next Monday afternoon after an incredible 120 minutes. It finished Forest Green Rovers 4, Newport County 3 on aggregate, 5-4 to Newport County.